The rogue groom appreciates your recommendation. thank you for your membership. Please, enjoy all the delights of the subscriber lounge. Welcome back, supporter of the cause. Ike seems a bit suspicious at Custar24.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Rogue Room. My name is Rogue Bitch. What's going on? How yous doing? Are you chilling? Are you good? Are you fine and dandy? I think I turned the music down too low. Hang on a sec. Let me make it so I can actually see you, because I can't see chat. Hello. There we go, now I can. How's it going? What's going on, folks? What's the news? What's the day? How's the day been treating you? Let me adjust my mic stand here, because it's a fucking disaster. Alright. Yes. I need a significantly better desk setup. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for the subs before the stream started, by the way. We are now up. Let me fix this shit, because that's not 36 anymore. Hang on. Let me refresh the session, and that should update itself in a moment. Thank you so kindly. And Jake
Another
for the
round
100 bits.
on you.
Oh my goodness. Cass and Jake, thank you so kindly for the subs. Friendos, thank you so much for supporting me and all of my bullshit screaming into a microphone. I promise one day I will earn enough money off Twitch subs that I will buy a Shure SM7B and all of the other necessary equipment to not have a microphone that peaks so damn easily. Promise. Cat, I swear to God, if you bite one of those microphones, I'll be biting your head off. Get out of the way of my cables. I need to find a way to keep him away from my cables. He's upsetting me with this. His refusal to adhere to the rules I've set for him. I don't understand why my cat refuses to listen to me. Anyway, I'm just doing something really quickly. I don't know why I started this within 2 minutes of the stream scene switching over, but I've decided. For anyone who knows the rules and wants to help enforce them in their own way, I'm adding rule commands. For anyone who breaks the rules and you feel like saying, hey, you're breaking the rules. Don't be an asshole. I'm adding in. You'll see in a moment.
Another round.
Another round.
You.
Another 100
Enjoy.
bits. Thank you so kindly, Jake. Oh my gosh. I never know how to respond to getting given money. Given that's like the one thing that I want, I don't want, not money, but like, in terms of making revenue from streaming, given that the only avenue I want to make money from streaming, Soul, there you go, or Reaper, however you want to prefer to, both of you, Jake, there you go, sorry I missed that one. Given that the only avenue I would prefer to make money from streaming is through you guys, like as in direct support, you actually saying to me that the content I put out is worth your time and money. Like I much prefer that to the idea of taking a sponsorship, right? I much prefer that idea, like I feel like it makes me more legitimate as a commentator. What the fuck is rule 6? I've forgotten. Hang on. Oh yeah, this one's the most important one of all. Alright, there we go, try these out. There we go. Goes all the way up to 6. I might like grab, I might find some other general rules that we can throw in there that'll, we can go up to 10. Rule 7, heck is God. There are no gods here. Except me. But I'm more of a queen than a god. Trying to get this hair out from my, like, my whatchamacallits. Fuck cancel culture. You'll love my upcoming video, trust me. I might put it up tomorrow. I think I'm going to put it up tomorrow. This is my plan. I was going to tweet this at the gym today and I just forgot.
Another round.
Oh my gosh. Love your content. It's worth my money. Thank you, Jake. Oh my gosh. That's what I strive for. That's what I strive for as a streamer. Is for you guys to... Yeah, like I want to be seen as someone whose content is worth the money. Let me turn this down. I swear to God, I'm not imagining this. My green screen is fucking going through my head. I swear to fucking... I'm not lying to you. I am not lying to you. Let me go to this for a second. Can I put something behind me that's like brightly colored? Or like... No, that's not even my camera source. That is my camera source. Here it is. Chroma key. Let me try something. No, it stopped. Similarity. Okay, it's fading me out of existence. There we go. This is exactly how I want the stream to look. I forgot to bring water. Fuck. This looks cool as fuck though, not gonna lie. Hello, Jeff. My true form. How does this look with my background? Hang on. Boom. What's up? Hell yeah. I'll go get water. Hang on a sec. I'll go get my water bottle. Give me a moment. Soz. I'll fix the green screen in a moment. The sub thing still hasn't fixed itself. Look at how cool that looks. Like I got a tattoo sleeve. Tap it. Come on, cat. Get the fuck out of my room. Off you go. Okay, I'm here. Okay. Again, I'm gonna reiterate. Yeah, can we just not use the R word full stop? That is a slur, so I'm gonna just say no. Don't bring that in here. Even though I did use a slur the other night. I should fix my green screen. Jesus Christ. I'm an Ashian. What's that? An Askian? Hang on, I'll have to look that up. Because I get the suspicion that's something cool from like sci-fi. It does look pretty fucking cool, doesn't it? Hang on, what is this? Final Fantasy. I'm gonna concede that I have never played any of them except a bit of... They look pretty cool, I suppose. I played a bit of Final Fantasy 15, that was it. 410. Is that okay? Yeah, my head static is gone now. Oh, maybe it's not. I swear I'm not imagining this. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna say right now, cancel culture is just consequences. The term cancel culture, there's a whole thing there. There's a whole fucking thing there. I don't agree with the rhetoric around cancel culture. Because it's usually a bunch of people who cannot stand the fact that other people disagreed with things they said or did. And they're trying to make it a bigger issue than it actually is. Anywho, It is just consequences. That's all. That's literally all it is. That's the consequences of people's actions, especially people who have a platform. No, I'm not gonna do. Oh yeah, water. I got
another round on you. Show cat.
Cat's in the other room. Thank you so kindly, Jake. Thank you so kindly. Oh my gosh. Let me see here. So what have I missed while I was away? What did I miss? American former vet former friends be like, fuck censorship, we're going to Parler 2.0. Wait, there's a Parler 2.0? It's not Gab, is it? Hello, execution right? I don't know. How you doing, dude? How's it going? Welcome in. But yeah, what was I going to say? I forgot. I had topics. I did have topics on
another round.
Oh my god!
I'm
just gonna sit here accepting bits. Okay, okay. This is now a just give me bits stream. Give me bits and sub stream. I'll get him for just a sec, but I don't want him in the room because he's climbing all over my equipment and I hate it, and I'm trying to get him to stop. Ready, set, and cat. Here him is. Abby Pog. We'll do Abby Pog soon. Right. I'll try to figure out new emotes eventually. I promise. I'll get around to it. Mom, let me go.
Another round.
Cat. Thank you so kindly again.
Cat.
How many bits is that now? Blah. Anyway, oh my, did I? No, okay. I thought my camera defocused for a second, but it's fine. It's okay. It's all good. It's all fine and dandy. It's all lovely. It's all lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm just gonna do something really quickly. Rightio then. Hang on just a moment. There we go. Cool. Just had to sort something out on the Twitch side of things. Anyways. What are we talking about? What are you guys talking about? Look. I already said. Let's drop the cancel culture thing for now. And the stan culture thing, which is... That I need to do more research on. But I've done enough research on cancel culture to last me a lifetime, I think. In recent times. And, like I said, my next video touches on it.
Another round.
Cat is cute.
On you. Cat is cute.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jake. But I was going to talk about, the first topic I was going to talk about tonight. Let me put a stream marker in for now. Was actually going to be self-doubt, and I forget even who it was that we were talking about. That was supposedly cancelled. Again, I don't believe in cancel culture. I think it's a... You want to know what it is? It's a right-wing rhetoric. That's what it is. It's a right-wing rhetoric, cancel culture. They're using it like crazy lately. To just say, oh, someone disagreed with me and there's a big cancel mob knocking at my door trying to destroy my entire career. Just, like, shut up. It's always platformed people. It is always platformed people who are using the cancel culture thing. Because they can't handle the fact that someone else disagrees with them. Hung out a load of washing. Did you miss something spicy? Not really. I went and I showed the cat off. How you doing, cat? Hydration is good. Coffee is good. I wish I had almond milk, and I wish the coffee stuff didn't actually have milk in it. I'm trying to do like a bit of a vegan thing, but slowly, getting into it. I'm sure Kitty Cat will come back later on. Don't worry. But anywho, you only have 15 bits left. We'll save them for another streamer. You've given me too much already. Is getting mad over a small joke? No. That's not what it is. Okay, the idea that they try to sell you. The idea that the people who are pushing the agenda of cancel culture, that the idea they're trying to sell you is that a big mob with torches and pitchforks are trying to burn down their entire career.
Another round.
The last before you bake messages you. Thank you, Jake. That's my interpretation of cancel culture, based on everything I've seen, which, by the way, is a lot. Believe me. Cancel culture is a deflection. It is. That's absolutely what it is. It's a deflection. It's them saying, oh, I don't want to... Oh, by the way, Wolf, hello. I thought I said hello. Hello, how you doing? It's, people who get cancelled are usually racist or sexist or peddling some belief or worldview that is harmful to someone. Exactly. It's always people who are... What's the word I'm looking for? I stumble over my words a lot. This is the problem with live streaming. You get a word in your head and it just goes away the moment you need it. It's people who know they are espousing reactionary viewpoints or saying things that are disagreeable. Anyway, there's a whole discussion there, but I don't want to do that one tonight. I don't want to do that one tonight because I've got other topics I want to talk about, and the first one, the major one. I'm shutting it down because I want to talk about self-doubt as my first topic for the night, because we've got a few topics tonight. I don't need caps lock on, which, by the way, I have this set to automatically go to caps lock, which is cool, so I don't need to have my caps lock on. That's awesome. Just suffering your hallucination problems. That's no good. That's pretty awful. Why are you suffering hallucination problems? I'm sorry to hear that. And Harvey Norman is trending because their idiot boss couldn't keep his mouth shut. Oh god. Is it Jerry Harvey? Hang on. Here I am trying to, like, let's do a mental health stream. Let's talk about mental health. Trending in Australia. Politics trending.
Another
Nazis.
round on you.
Screw the ban. There's a ban? What ban? Thank you, Jake. How many is that now? Can I count them up? Wait, is the bot working? Hang on a second. Is the bot on? It is on. Yeah, he's on. Is it rule 3? No, that's not. That's don't self-promote. That's a different... I was just checking if the bot's working. But if you guys do know the rules off by heart and you want to remind other people in chat of the rules, if for some reason something comes up, exclamation mark rule 1 through 6 is the thing at the moment. There's that, but I mean, if someone wants to use a single rule as an example, like if you want to if you want to at someone, and then you go, hey, at rule 1, exclamation mark rule 1, stay on topic, etc. Yeah. So what's the thing about... Oh my god.
I meant bank lol.
Meant bank... Oh, okay. Okay, Jake. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I need to know. I need to know now. I'm gonna look. Just gonna have a little bit of a peek. Oh my god. There's so many bits here! This is so many bits. Thank you so much. Okay. So, I don't need to look... Oh, well, I was looking at my Twitter notifications. What was the, We'll come back to self-doubt in just a moment. Hang on. Twitter nonsense. Then we'll come back to self-doubt. So Nazis are trending, yet again. Job seeker is trending. Certain big companies have returned their job keeper payments because they didn't need them. Harvey Norman isn't one of them. I'm seeing job seeker. Why is it job seeker and not job keeper? I thought those were two. That's very confusing when you have two words that sound very similar. Jake! Are we even more? Thank you so much.
More Noe.
Was it Abby who posted the link about racism in the comedy community culture? Wait, what? Say that again. Wait, what? I don't know what you mean. How tired are you? Walked in and out of your room 5 times. Oh, I hate that! I hate that so much. Okay, so... A job seeker is when you're applying for a job, isn't it? And job keeper is for people who are out of work because of COVID, right? That's the way I interpreted it. So I'm looking at job seeker trending on Twitter. And then there's the Harvey Norman thing. What's the Harvey Norman thing? I didn't even... Jerry from Harvey Norman won't be paying back his job keeper, loves taxpayers' money for his own benefit, but not to help those who actually need it. Let's have a look at this. Let's see if there's a news article about this.
Another round on you.
Jerry Harvey, job keeper. Let's have a look. This is August. No. Nothing. Is there an article about it? Here we go. Super Retail Group returns 1.7. Oh, here we go. Here's the thing. So we'll start with news, I guess. We'll start with Twitter nonsense. Or news. We'll start with news. We'll come back. What did they even say, Heckland, by the way? Welcome in, RC1Z. Was hate speech. Okay. Well, not welcome in us. I don't speak that language, so I can't be offended by it, is the problem you have there, friend. Like, if you post another language in my chat expecting to offend me, what am I gonna say? I can't read it. I know English, that's it. This is an English-only stream. I'm sorry to offend anyone who only speaks another language, but this is an English stream. Don't come in here if you don't speak English. Basically. Not trying to be rude, but kind of a little bit.
Another round. On you.
Should probably stop now.
I should probably stop now. These are my last 100.
I appreciate it, Jake. I really do. But stop before you send yourself broke. Goodness me. Anyway. Super Retail Group returns $1.7 million from JobKeeper amid calls for Harvey Norman to follow suit. Owner of Supercheap Auto and Rebel posts record profits and joins Toyota in volunteering to forego subsidies in move welcomed by Treasurer. The Federal Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg, has welcomed Super Retail Groups to... That is so on the nose. Super Retail Group. Sounds like a villain in a cartoony kids movie or something like that. We gotta go up against the Super Retail Group. They're stealing all the wages. To voluntarily return $1.7 million of wage subsidies to the Australian government, while Labor has called for other rebounding retailers to follow its lead. Super Retail Group, the owner of brands including Supercheap Auto, Rebel, and Macpac, never heard of them, announced the decision on Monday as it revealed a record $170 million net profit after tax. The villainy sounding one is actually, yeah, the good guy in this circumstance. Company joins Toyota in foregoing JobKeeper payments despite being eligible after the car maker returned $18 million to the federal government. Labor's shadow assistant, the shadow assistant. So, like, what is it with government roles? What is it? You have to go, Jake. Thank you so kindly for all the bits. Oh my god. Have a good one. Have a bloody good one, friend. What is it with, like, these political roles that sound so sinister? Shadow assistant minister! For Treasury, Andrew Lee has called on Harvey Norman and Solomon Lew's Premier Investments, owner of retail chains Smiggle, Just Jeans, Dottie and Portman's, to return their JobKeeper payments. On Monday, Frydenberg said that while Super Retail Group and Toyota were under no legal obligation to repay JobSeeker, so it's JobSeeker, but they're saying JobKeeper. Which one is it? Why have they got two different names? I'll stop yelling into my microphone now. Why are they got two different names? What is it? JobSeeker or JobKeeper? Pick one. If they do so, I'm not going to say no. That's additional money flowing into government coffers and it's appreciated, the Treasurer told reporters in Melbourne. They don't have obligation and it's a matter for individual businesses to do as they see fit. Well, this becomes the issue of, like, is this... you know what? We're not going to get into that. Frydenberg said the government had been very clear. The JobKeeper program was legislated to end in March and it intended to follow through with that end date because many businesses no longer need JobKeeper as their customers have come back through the doors. Well, yeah, like if businesses are open and they're continuing to bring in money, they don't need these payments. Yeah, that's government money. They don't need it. Frydenberg noted that $140 billion of federal support has been delivered out of $260 billion committed and argued there was light at the end of the tunnel after a 23% increase in job vacancies in November. The JobKeeper wage subsidy program offered companies $1,500 a fortnight to pass on to employees to keep them in their jobs. In the first 6 months from March, companies needed to show only a one-off revenue downturn to qualify, a bar many retailers cleared as coronavirus restrictions shut down large sections of the Australian economy and society. Eligibility rules were changed in September, requiring companies to re-qualify for the payment every quarter, but many companies that went on to post profits and pay dividends had already received the payments. Lee told Guardian Australia that Premier Investments had received an estimated $45 million in JobKeeper payments, but had gone on to pay a multi-million-dollar bonus to its chief executive and deliver a stonking dividend to shareholders. Oh, it's a quote. I'm looking at this and I'm like, stonking? Who the fuck says stonking in a professional news article? It's a quote. Premier gave shareholders a 70-cent dividend per share and has told investors it expects earnings before interest and tax of between $221 million and $233 million in the 6 months to the 30th of January. Premier has given every indication it is rolling in clover. If anyone should be paying back JobKeeper, it's Premier. Yeah, I mean, imagine if companies actually had ethics. That would be crazy if they actually did these kinds of things. I'm not making a legal argument, I'm making a moral argument. As a matter of law, they've claimed literally, dude, I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm making a moral argument. As a matter of law, they've claimed JobKeeper, but as a matter of ethics, I think it's indefensible. Seriously, why do I predict things before I get I've done it in video reactions? How does this happen? I'm literally prescient. I don't know how this happens. Anyway, Lee said Harvey Norman had also declared a profit bonanza and doesn't appear to need taxpayer support in the same way that 1 million Australians do right now as they face the prospect of JobSeeker unemployment benefits being cut. So yeah, JobSeeker people need JobSeeker. Jerry Harvey doesn't need more money. I'm going to try something really quickly. No, because if I do that, I'll put you behind me. I mean, I want to put you behind me. Because fuck you guys, you're a bunch of wankers. Not that! No, overlay. Hang on. Let me go back to this. Go into studio mode for a second. I'm just going to fiddle with something. Put that behind me. Okay. Delete that. I'm just fiddling with something. Hold on a moment. Okay, we're good now. Awesome. Alright, you're now behind me. Get fucked. You can't see yourself on screen now. Fuck faces. Alright, you'll be able to. Briefly. Once it scrolls up enough. Fuck yourselves. This is my stream. My makeup. Bitch. Anyway, Lee said Harvey Norman had also declared a profit bonanza doesn't need... Yep. Lee said Super Retail Group and Toyota had shown that their corporate ethics are in line with most Australians. They've made decisions they didn't have to. That's what the best outcome could possibly be for a company, is to actually make ethical decisions. I know it's a crazy, wild, ridiculous, obscene concept, but any company that makes actual ethical decisions has my actual support. Not that I can afford a fucking car or whatever the fuck Super Retail Group does. But the point remains. My hair looks like shit because I'm sweaty. Ugh. Dude, somebody buy me a wig or something. I'll put a wig on my Amazon wishlist and you can buy it for me. I think they'll be rewarded by more loyal customers and the appreciation of millions of Australians for doing the right thing. On Monday, JB Hi-Fi, which did not claim JobKeeper, announced that it expected group net profit for the year ending in June to rise 20% to 22% between 300 million and 305 million. Maya, which received $93 million in JobKeeper. $93 million? Maya? Fuck me dead. Jesus fucking Christ. But still posted a loss of $172 million for the year to 25th of July. Will announce its results shortly. In September, Lee targeted the shoe retailer Accent Group for receiving $13 million in JobKeeper and paying its CEO, Daniel Agostinelli, a $1.2 million bonus. Oh my fucking god, I already hate him. This is the first time I've ever heard of this guy, and I hate his guts. He can go fuck himself. The head of the Business Council of Australia, Jennifer Westacott, has said companies receiving JobKeeper wage subsidies should not give executive bonuses and should think twice before paying dividends. Do you remember when Bobby Kotick gave himself like a $40 million bonus one year? And I think Activision's wages went down, or something like that, I forget. Oh no, they cut 800 people one year, and Bobby Kotick gave himself, I think it might have been like $10 million, whatever. Doesn't matter how many millions of dollars. Contact Premier Investments and Harvey Norman for comment. There was no comment. They didn't give a comment. Anywho's. Let me just... So, yeah. That's... I hate money. I hate the economy. I hate the discussion around the economy. Fucking shit, dude. It pisses me off. I hate when we have to talk about this kind of shit because it is relevant to me personally as someone who's... I'm not receiving job seeker payments, but as someone who's on, like, say, disability or whatever, you know, if the government has got the money to give to companies to keep people in work, and those companies are still making tons and tons of money, there is no reason they need to keep it, and they should give it back. Now, of course, there's no legal obligation, like it says in the article, for them to do so, but they should. Because that money, that is the taxpayer's income, by the way. Now, in this circumstance, it was originally an ethical thing from a government standpoint for them to give the money to the companies so that the people working for those companies who were unable to work during COVID are able to retain their jobs and retain their income. Anywho. Yeah, join the Discord if you're not already in the Discord. If you want to get further discourse, join the Discord. But as I was saying, Robert Paul Champagne, those are some emotes. How you doing? Yeah, if the money is coming from the people, if it's our taxes, if it's the taxes of the people being paid to the government, and then the government is giving it to these companies saying, look, we're going through a pandemic, you need to keep your people paid, they need to be supported, and then the company turns around after they've made enough money to cover all of that shit, then yes, absolutely they should give it back. There should be a legal obligation to repay job seeker. It's a bit ridiculous that there isn't. You know, the money, like, this is one of the major problems with this capitalistic society we live in to begin with. It's like you give money to a company, there's obviously no expectation for them to give it back. They're like, never trust a company.
Welcome to the Rogue Room.
Supreme.
We hope you enjoy your stay.
Welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, grab a drink with us, hang out, chill out, have a good one. Okay. Well, there's that. There's super retail group bullshit. And Nazis, again, are trending on Twitter. Do we need to go into Nazis? I don't want to talk about Nazis again. For God's sake, I feel like even when I'm trying not to talk about Nazis, Nazis are at the forefront of the conversation. How does this happen? Nazis bad, we know this. I've got to stop yelling, sorry. Nazis are bad. You know this, I know this. There are a lot of people who should know this. And yet, for reasons unbeknownst to me, they decide to go down the route of following said Nazis, which is just insane. Anyways. I don't know exactly, like, what's... Maybe it's just because Twitter has an obsession with hating Nazis, and I do hate Nazis. Obviously, everyone should hate Nazis. It doesn't look like there's a specific topic as to why Nazis are trending at the moment. It's just people shitting on Nazis, which is good. As well they should. You know, I have mods in chat. I can see several swords right now. And I'm looking at that you know what message I'm looking at. Thank you. Even Nazis hate Nazis. That's the funny thing. Is that there are some who will blatantly claim, oh, you know, they'll blatantly state they are affiliated with the Nazi party, they'll fly a swastika and all that. But there are some fascists, there are some neo-fascists who absolutely align with Nazi ideology, and they'll still use Nazis as a demon. They'll still use Nazis as a villainous entity to compare their enemies to. They'll say, these people are just like the Nazis. Meanwhile, they're actually instituting policies and doing things and organizing events. I just need to check something really quick. They're doing everything in their power to be as Nazi as possible without outright stating it. Okay, my sub-goal is actually accurate. Okay, cool. Trump administration? Yeah, the Trump administration. Everything the Trump administration was doing. Hang on a moment. Let me just open my door because I closed the door because I didn't want the cat coming in, but now I need aircon. Oh my goodness me. Okay, so. Hang on. My mic stand is a mess. Let me fix this. Here we go. Every time a right-wing pundit describes feminism or gender activists as Nazis, I had a discussion. I was stupid. Let's talk about something, right? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this concept. There's an article I want to discuss, right? We're not going to go into, like, which fascist dictator who killed a lot of people is worse. They're both horrendous people who should not be forgotten by history. I know as much as some of us would like to forget them. I know a lot of us would like to... Oh, that's very dangerous. We're not going to argue which of these fascist dictators was worse, for God's sake. Yeah, don't ask inflammatory questions, and for the record, and I'll change this topic now, this isn't particularly... Can somebody remind them? Like, we weren't talking about this, first and foremost. We're going to talk about prejudice, though. Rule number 2. Someone put rule number 2 in chat. I'm going to have to start doing everything in my power to rein it in. Because, like, first and foremost, stay on topic, don't derail the conversation. You guys started taking over the conversation before it even started. Don't appreciate that. I have plans to talk about cancel culture later in the week. Like, that's already planned as a thing. I mentioned it several times. You guys didn't even listen. There is an exclamation mark commands command. But still, don't piss me off. I wanted to talk about the concept because I was an idiot over the past few days, and I've gone on Facebook on public discussions of news articles. I went in the comment sections of articles relating to trans identity. There were 2 articles, I believe, and one of them was just going on, and I was trying my damnedest to convince these idiots that they were wrong, that they were right wing, but they were wrong about trans identity. And their explicit attitude, more like fash book, you're not wrong. I don't know why I bother going there. It's full of really bad people. It's full of just, boomer book. It's full of outdated concepts and principles and misinformation. I've got so many mods, and yet I generally have to be the one to ban people. Hello, Captain Combat. How you doing? So yeah, I got into this discussion, and this got this thought in my head, because here I am sitting there talking to these people, back and forthing with them, and they're just constantly being dumb, not listening, and espousing the same old tired rhetoric that we've heard a million times before about trans people. They're pretending we have some kind of agenda, the trans agenda. Oh no. How dare I, a transgender person, an extreme minority, want other transgender people to not die or have genocide committed upon them? What an awful agenda I have. Like, what? Anyway. And one of the things one of these people said to me, I don't know if they ever ended up deleting their comments or whatever, I haven't checked back in since this morning. But one of the things they said to me is the agenda's been right under our nose, right under your nose, and you don't even see it. It's right there. It's under your nose. Like, what? You can't assert these notions and then not provide any backup, not provide any further information. You can't say, oh, the transes have some agenda. You can't say that and then not back it up. Like, what? You can't do that. If you have an argument you want to make, then give me links. What's the trans agenda, friend? Trans kids become trans adults? That's a good one. How do you feel about the LGBT community leaving first of all, the T stands for trans. And there is a community of people within and here's my hypothesis about LGB without the T, right? And for anyone asking, I'm from Australia. It says it down there in my panels. I'll just iterate that right now. The gay agenda, acceptance and love and memes. Food's alright. What was I going to say? Trans people will be protected and supported. Seems a bit weird. I know. The thing about the LGB without the T thing, I have this hypothesis because there's been an infiltration into the trans community, friends. The terror of the internet, the anonymity of the internet is a gross weapon that can be used by anyone. It's a gross weapon that can be used by anyone, and there's been, like I said, this infiltration into trans spaces of people who are spreading this what they're trying to do. I wish I'd brought an example because I've been reading about it, but I didn't actually go and look up. A specific example to use here. I should have done that beforehand. But there are people who are not trans. And I don't know their sexuality or their gender identity or whatever, but there are people explicitly who are going into trans spaces and trying to sow doubt among the trans community. Trying to spread nonsense about detransitioning and putting negative thoughts into your heads and all that sort of stuff. And that's obviously a real problem. And that's another form of prejudice. That we're going to get into the actual details about prejudice in a moment. I have an article here that we can talk about the psychology of prejudice and all of that. But I'm just sort of rambling off the cuff for the moment. And this is a tool that they will use against us. In addition to the constant rightoid method of asserting that the trans people have some kind of agenda. Some kind, whatever that agenda is. Presentation? Being comfortable in the identity you're in? Like, what is, I've not heard of any transgender agenda aside from acceptance and we don't want to be dead. We'd prefer not to be dead. You know? That's my main thing. I'm sorry that that's so difficult for you to consider. Oh my god, are we going to do the sports thing? Alright, let's start this. How many trans people compete in the Olympics? Serious question. How many trans people are competing in the Olympics? I'll wait. How many trans people are competing in the Olympics? 0. Let's just say, for example, and here's the thing about sports. They're athletic. They're physical. Thereby, the vast majority of sports, with enough training, an athlete from this sport could go into this sport. An athlete in boxing could go into long jump. Let's use the example of long jump. Someone from Malaysia might have a significantly different physical structure to someone born in, say, Sweden. Bone structure, muscle distribution. Someone from Sweden might grow to about 6'4". Someone from Malaysia might grow to about 5'2". And they'll be in the same competition against each other. You really want to do this? The trans in sports discussion is explicitly a transphobic rhetoric. Nobody wants to have this discussion. Sports, by their very definition, are an unfair thing. Get it into your fucking head. The arguments have always been transphobic. Always have been. It's not an argument, it's an attack. That's the thing, it's an attack. Anyway, hi Titania, how you doing? Maybe we should just do away with the whole concept of sports in general, because it's stupid, but that's a whole other topic. And this is where this is another prejudicial argument. Another prejudicial, it's specifically designed, like, why do you ever need to bring that up? Hello Grizz, how you doing? What's going on, dude? They are just transphobic, because that's all it is. That's all it is. There's never any need to have this discussion. There's never any need to have this discussion because it's always brought up by... I wasn't talking about sports. Was I talking about sports? No, I wasn't. I'm a transgender person. And I was going to sit here and we were going to discuss the concepts of prejudice. And you know what happened? You brought up sports. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody was having the discussion around sports. That's how it always happens. We're not discussing sports. We're not discussing athletics. I enjoy working out. I do. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy going to the gym, doing cardio, lifting weights and all that. I'm not doing it competitively. We're allowed to enjoy fitness. But it's just another way to bring down transgender people. Whenever you come into the discussion, you say, what about the trans people in sports? I don't give a fuck. I'm never having that discussion again. I made a video about this very thing. I do need to hydrate because I'm getting thirsty for the fucking topic I chose. Rule 2, read it, you fuck. There's no argument to be had, is what I'm saying. There's no argument to be had. That's what I mean. It's like, you came in here and brought this to me. And I'm shutting it down. I'm giving you the facts, as they are. There we go. Can we be done with it? Other than that, Grizzly, I'm doing fine. Other than that bullshit. If you're going to come in here, at least subscribe to my Patreon and give me money for wasting my time. Or go... I actually added a wishlist command as well. Buy me something on my Amazon wishlist for wasting my time. Can we talk about prejudice? Can we talk about this? Can we talk about... This is exactly what I fucking mean, by the way. Also, I feel like that should be above my hand. Yeah. I feel like that should... Oh... But then if for some reason the title's big enough, it'll crop over my head. Doesn't matter. Anyway. Oh, goodness me. So stop bringing it up. Again, I have a specific thing. This is what they try to do to you. This is what they do to every trans woman. I guarantee you. It's always trans women, by the way. Let's make this another point of prejudice. We're not even into the actual topic. We're in the prelude section of the novel here. We're not actually into the topic yet. Don't get me wrong here. We'll get to it. But prejudice, yes, we'll get into it. Excuse me. The trans women in sports thing. The point of this specific argument, bringing up the trans women in sports or the trans women in female restrooms or any of these kinds of things, right? These people will go into every trans person's stream and bring up these same things to distract them. That's the word I'm looking for. I had the word distract over here in the back of my head somewhere, and I'm like, divest? There you go. And that goes for everyone else who keeps bringing up that fucking bullshit. Jesus Christ. Literally, I've been in several other... not every other trans streamer stream, but I've been in several other trans streamer streams, and I will go, and I'll just I'm sitting there, we're just chilling, they're playing Minecraft. It's a trans person playing Minecraft. Someone comes in, what about trans women in sports? It's never related to anything. They just bring it in to be divisive. There we go. That would be why I had divest in my head, because distract, and so they're distracting me, and then they're being divisive. Again, there's no trans Olympians, whatever. And the issue with trans people in sports, of course, you have to factor in HRT and the fact that sports, by its very definition, is an imbalanced thing. Like, why do you realize, right, that your favorite athletes are chosen based on genetic factors that are outside of their control? Even among people who, like, if you've got a team of 8 men or whatever sport, those men were chosen because they are at the peak physical form, not because they've trained a lot, because genetically they are at the peak physical form. Shocking how that works. And steroids. But the answer to the question, yes, to break that whole thing out, just like that, to bring that all in. The answer to what about trans women in sports is it doesn't matter. Thank you, Azera. Can I give you a round of applause for that one? Not that one! That one. Yeah, basketballers in height. Have you ever seen a 5'2" basketballer? Have you ever seen a 6'7" jockey? Hey Sammy, how you doing? Have you ever seen a bodybuilder on stage in the last 10 years who had a... God, I'm trying to think of a specific measurement now. Who had a, well, yeah, the answer's probably no. Who, here you go. Have you ever seen a bodybuilder on stage, period, with arms this big? This big. I guarantee you haven't. Okay? Because sports is unfair. More often than not, your favorite athletes are very privileged people as well. That's another thing. They've often been led into sports through, let's just say, like, a privileged kid that comes from a wealthy family will get the opportunity to go and train in sports. Whereas, you know, obviously poor kids probably won't, or there'd be a lot more of an obstacle in front of them. Anyway, let's get into prejudice, which, there's the prelude. There's, if you want to write that whole thing out, once I publish my book, on whatever the fuck the book is, that's going to be the prelude. I do be fit as fuck though. Thank you. I'm working on it. I'm getting to that point where I've got visible abdominal muscles. Abdominal muscles. Oh, excuse me. So for those of you who are not 100% clarified on what prejudice is, to break it down, aside from the fact that obviously I'm getting yelled at by transphobes in Twitch chat, I hope that boosts my viewers a little bit. Prejudice is an unjustified or incorrect attitude, usually negative, towards an individual based solely on the individual's membership of a social group. not Pride and Prejudice, which was a, I was going to use that as a title for a video at some point, like I was going to use something relating to Pride and Prejudice as a video title, and I never got around to doing it. I forget why. I think it was Pride and Prejudice in Skyrim. I don't know why I was going, I think it was relating to white supremacy. Anyway, so the idea of prejudice is, of course, as we may be well aware, is to target not just an individual, but to target a group of people as well. So a lot of the things that we are familiar with, because the internet is inherently a divisive place, there's a lot of people all over this great nuisance space that we call the online world, I guess. You have so many different groups of people, so many different opinions, of course. And many of those opinions are divisive, and especially in the streaming community, and in gaming, especially in gaming and streaming, I should say. Because these are those kind of always online communities. What's the term I've used in the past? Not addictively online. There's another word that I want to use. Not perpetually. Not parasocial. Perpetually online. That's it. Perpetually online. And in that circumstance, perpetually online people tend to, of course, one of the big things about prejudice is it tends to be built into us from a young age, tends to be indoctrinated into us a fair bit. Yeah, if you can drop studies and stuff in the Discord if you want. Cheney killed the internet. Well, that's a bit shit. As a straight guy, you're just annoyed that guys don't get the mad, elaborate outfits that some of the girls get, and it hit you during high school, and you're like, suit and tie. Yeah, I know. Suit and tie is boring as fuck. But experiment! Go and experiment. Go and just pick out whatever you want. Find something that works for you. Go crazy. So Kestar is not perpetually online. Yeah, it's an addiction, honestly, being online all the time. But of course, the things that we get taught when we're younger, the things that we get told are, you know, normal as children. We grow up with these notions. This is kind of relating to something else I was going to touch on, which is religion. But as we're younger, when we're younger, we tend to be told this kind of thing or that kind of thing is bad or good. And sometimes that thing, this, that, whatever, can be people. And it's not someone sitting around not a campfire. It's not someone sitting around the TV. It's not always like dad and the two kids sitting around the TV and dad's just going off about black people. It's more often than not subtle, that embedding of prejudice in people. That idea of, they'll say, this is the problem with jokes, right? I hate to be this person to go comedy bad, but this is the problem with jokes. The problem with comedy. The problem with anything can be comedy, right? Is you'll have dad. I'm just gonna use dad as an example here. I hate all comedy. You can add that as a quote. Fuck it, why not? But you can have dad telling jokes, or mum, or auntie, or whatever, whoever it is, making jokes about a racial group, making jokes about a sexual group, sexuality, making jokes about trans people, making jokes about lady boys, making jokes about. I'm not gonna do like, you know, dad might make a joke about Asian people, and to make the kiddies laugh. To make the kiddies laugh, he's gonna make a joke about Asian people. And how do you think he's gonna do that? He's not gonna do it by. He's not gonna make a clever remark or anything like that. He's going to do everything in his power to basically do yellow face for the kids to make them giggle, right? Absolutely. Totally tasteful. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Comrade Chicken, how you doing? And the kids are going to laugh at it. The kids are going to chuckle at it. But they're also going to put that idea in their head. That that's what Asian people are like. And it creates this foundation for them to later in life, as long as that kind of attitude sticks around them. Because that's not based in... That kind of attitudes is not based in, I just want to make a joke. That kind of attitude is based in an innate built-in prejudice. And by giving, like, remember the guy that got fired from SNL for making the racist joke? Talking about, well, have you heard about the guy who fell down a well? Heard he couldn't see that well. I do have a soundboard. Awful! Feel bad. So, yeah, so, you know, the situation there is, of course, I'm just using that as an example. I'm using the guy, I forget what his name was now, the guy who got fired from SNL. He was on a podcast and he was making jokes about the Asians. So, like, he's sitting in a Chinese restaurant and he's making jokes about the people serving his food to the podcaster that he's interviewing, or he's being interviewed by. He's making, Shane Gillis, that's who it was. He's making jokes about the Asian servers working at the restaurant. People who are making his food, who are giving him service. And he decides to go on a podcast and mock them. And you know what's going to happen? People listening to that podcast take that in. No, he was actually ragging on them. He was making fun of their accent and all that kind of stuff. Doing the whole me Chinese thing. That whole bullshit. And what stems from that, him doing that on a platform, or dad doing that to his kids, is what is the building block of prejudice. You sow that little bit. And the thing is, for it to work, of course, it's not going to work on me. If you come to me with an English joke, I'm going to be like, you're a cunt. Grow up. But if you go to somebody who might, for example, fence sitters is the situation here. I am English. Well, I'm Australian. If you find someone who is not, like, say, one way or the other with regards to certain social issues, for example, if you find someone who is not, you find someone whose opinions on a number of things are kind of, what's the phrase I'm looking for here? Someone whose opinions on a certain thing are not particularly founded, you can influence them. And that's the thing about kids. This is the thing about prejudice in children. You know, we see prejudice in children all the time because kids are too young to understand how badly their words and actions can affect other kids. That's why, you know, you see, if you go to a white school, you know, kids are going to make fun of the other kid who's maybe a different skin color or from a different culture or has a disability or whatever. Just make fun of them. You know, just tease them and make fun of them. And as they grow older, that becomes normalized. That kind of, let's take the piss out of everyone because they're different to me. And then they'll throw in a joke occasionally about white people and they'll be like, oh, it's all fine because I make fun of everyone, including white people. Anyway. The less educated you are, the more right-leaning. There was a quote, I forget who it was by. There was a quote that there are no right-wing intellectuals. I forget who said that. On that subject. Number of chinky chonk jokes going around in your high school was disgusting. Rural high school, which did have an exchange program. It reminds me of, like, in this same space. I wasn't explicitly intending this to go towards the Asian prejudice specifically, but we might as well stick with it. Hello, Nana. How you doing? But there was a person I used to hang out with who was otherwise cool to be around and all that. She was a cool person. And except for the fact that she just had a disdain for Chinese people. If we ordered Chinese food, and I'm glad I don't hang out with these people anymore, she would express disgust about the idea of interacting with them. Not as a joke, she genuinely didn't like them, for reasons unbeknownst to me. For reasons that escape me entirely. I don't get it. And yeah, it's such a weirdly specific hatred. And I see it a lot. And I think it's embedded in, quite frankly, very, very old political propaganda. The communist thing was more relating to Russia, wasn't it? Was it Russia? There is, of course, now, especially nowadays, the communist thing has flared up again. Because people, especially in the US, and the funny thing, like going back to the situation with the dickheads making transphobic comments on a news article on Facebook that I was arguing with. There was another thread about Trump and communism and all this kind of stuff, and a bunch of comments of people who do not understand communism, who do not understand anything at all. Quite frankly, they just use communism as a buzzword. There's gonna be the slippery descent into communism. So do you even know what communism is? I barely know what communism is. And they'll often use that as
another round.
Oh my god, Jake, thank you so kindly. For the 30 bits, I'll try to stop peaking my microphone. Oh. It's the red and the flag that make... I'm wearing red. There we go. It's the communism. The evil communisms. They said it had good sides and bad sides. That's the thing. It's like, no... I'm personally a socialist, but there are flaws, there are positives and negatives to varying political systems. And of course, there are many proponents of communism. There are many proponents of communism who will argue that while, yes, there was communist regimes, they were not true communism, and that's kind of the issue you get into when you discuss this thing. Is like, you can still have a communist state that has a number of other things wrong with it. And people will use those negative things, those things that were done wrong, so to speak, to denounce the entire idea and, in a sense, defend capitalism. And I don't know what that's supposed to mean. In the key of the anthem thingy is all... Oh, okay. I don't know. If you give people something to focus on, I don't know how I got those words backwards, they will hate it, yeah. You create a villain in the media. You create some kind of entity. You get uncomfortable when... did I describe myself as a libertarian? I thought I said I was a socialist. Libertarians in the US want reduced government regulation and the dissolution... Well, that's not what I want. I agree with social support programs. Most right-wing commentators talk about the Soviet Union and USSR.
Another round.
Oh my god, another one. Thank you, Jake. We'll talk about the Soviet Union or USSR to say socialism or communism when younger people think about Scandinavian sockdom. I will say, like, I'm happy with the way Australia is operating at the moment in terms of social programs and things like that. Hold on a moment. Here's a cat. Get a brief glimpse of him, and then I need to throw him out again. Meow. Here you go. Abby Pog. But I don't want to get too heavily into the difference. I need to read more on these social political structures. It's a cute possum, it is. Rule 2. Yeah, I want to steer away from this and go back to prejudice. Because that's the issue I've been having with some of these streams. Is like, they're good, it's good chats, it's good hangs and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah. But let's go back to prejudice. Let's go back to this. I just showed Smudge. You can literally just what they should allow you to do is to be able to scrub back through the already streamed content and look at stuff that happened a few minutes ago. You're not happy with Centrelink being $40 a day, admittedly by design. $40 a day? Where's that number? Well, I'm sure he'll try to invade my streaming space again soon, don't worry. Excuse me. Okay, so, a person may hold prejudiced views towards a certain race or gender, so sexism. Where were we? I've forgotten where we were exactly, though. So, you make $40 an hour. Jesus Christ. I wish I made $40 an hour. That'd be nice. So what exactly do we consider prejudice? What do you guys consider prejudice? This is what I would like to ask. What do you consider? I mean, I started this topic, this idea, excuse me, based on the transphobia in the news articles, which is the big relevant issue to me personally. I don't have people being prejudiced towards me because of my skin color, because of my... That's the first one I've got. I suppose I occasionally get prejudiced towards... people get prejudiced occasionally regarding the ableist sort of situation. I have a disability. But I mean, I've never really had that many people, at least not in recent times, call me ableist slurs. I expect transphobia, obviously. Ableism hasn't really been an issue for me, but it is one of those things that it's like, this could be a problem, but it hasn't been. At the most, I don't... Oh, the you don't look autistic thing, like, that's a thing that's mildly prejudiced. Mildly. Like, it's a mild form of ableism. In the sense that people are kind of dismissing notions around autism. They're not bothering to educate themselves. Wish you could get a job in IT with your diploma you got a few years ago. You end up with these... Yeah, that'd be a good idea. In philosophy and rhetoric, the principle of charity or charitable interpretation requires interpreting a speaker's statements in the most rational way possible, and in the case of any argument, considering its best, strongest possible interpretation. I need to read more philosophy, honestly. In the narrower sense, the goal of this methodological principle is to avoid attributing irrationality, logical fallacies, or falsehoods to the other statements when a coherent, rational interpretation of the statements is available. Ageism is one. Ageism is an interesting one, because in theory... My god. Give me a sec. The issue that comes up, right, is we have to look at, with ableism and with physical and mental disability, right, we have to look at, like, prejudice against somebody for being gay, or being, of a race that's not white, being non-white, or there are being trans. I'm trying to think of like a few specific ones. Being prejudiced against somebody for those things has no basis. Well, it depends on what the prejudice is on, right? It's depending on what the prejudice is on. But with regards to ageism and with regards to physical disability and things like that, the unfortunate reality is a lot of, especially when it comes to jobs, like let's just say, for example, let's use jobs as an example here. Places of employment are going to be prejudiced against older people or disabled people if they think they can't fill the role, of course. But I suppose that speaks more to the idea of, is that place of business not willing to accommodate its workers of an older age or of a certain disability? That's its own form of prejudice. If you are working at a building that only has stairs and you're in a wheelchair, it's like, what are you supposed to do? Now, if you get offered a job and you can't even show up to the interview because there's stairs there, what are you going to do? And if you're an elderly person who needs to work, or who wants to work, who wants to go back to work or whatever, not even elderly, just like older. Cat, go away. Shoo, go on. Get out. No. For goodness sake, hold on. Oh my god, he's knocked my light over. Hang on a sec. Goodness gracious me, get out of the room. Come on. Can't keep doing this. So I close the door. Come on. Oh, blew off me. God. We fixed my ring light. There we go. But yeah, ageism is more than, I was just moving him and he just jumped out of my hands. SDO, social dominance order. That I'm not 100% sure on. But, I mean, obviously prejudice can be more than just in jobs. You can be ageist against people, and this has become a thing, especially with the whole OK Boomer meme a few years ago, or like, was it last year or the year before? And it's like, now everyone who is, can I adjust my camera? Yeah. That was the camera, but that was the cat, by the way. That was the fucking cat, by the way, getting behind things. There are infinite ways prejudice can influence who gets the job. Qualifications are probably only a minor factor. Yeah, like, I think people underestimate just how much knowing people in a job, knowing people in an industry, can have more of an influence on you getting a job in that industry than just applying and having qualifications. There are, countless instances. I don't know why I'm so sniffly, for God's sake. My throat's dry. Anyway. There are countless instances of people getting put into positions based on the fact that they know people rather than the fact that they've specifically trained in a thing. Obviously COVID, yes. Exactly. Always. It's always been COVID. Always has been. But prejudice itself is beyond any of this kind of stuff. It's a much more deeply ingrained social issue that we're not going to dismiss with a single stream. But prejudice itself can relate to your personality, your upbringing. It can be influenced by your job, honestly. It can be influenced by, like, if you have a job. God damn it! Silos and slots for people. SDO describes a belief that group hierarchies are inevitable in all societies and are even a good idea to maintain order and stability. SDO believe that some groups are inherently better than others, and because of this, there is no such thing as group equality. Well, equality is a fucking lie. At the same time, though, SDO is not about being personally dominant and controlling of others. SDO describes a preferred arrangement of groups with society. Shockingly, this one 3-hour stream that I'm doing is not going to cure all of society's ills. I'm sorry to disappoint you. We haven't even gotten into the self-doubt thing yet, me doing self-help streams. I want to get into... I've actually... To bring up the wish list again, I'm just going to do it so I can get the link so I can look at it, because I actually added a ton of books to my Amazon wish list, as well as a bunch of curtain backdrops. A bunch of stuff that I want to read and some tech that I want to get. Which, yeah. There's a lot in there. There's a lot in there. Oh my goodness gracious me. But, like... The thing about prejudice is someone can have a prejudicial attitude towards other people and still be, for example, there could be, like, let's just say, for example, there was a manager at my, the supermarket I used to work at, and he explicitly, the news person backdrop, he explicitly mentioned on one occasion, not joking, because there was a party election coming up. There was a major, what's it called? Our federal election. The federal election was coming up, and he explicitly said to everybody in the break room, and there were like a lot of people in the break room, or he said it to another manager near him. Oh yeah, I went and I cast my vote for Pauline Hanson and One Nation. And for those of you who are out of the loop, One Nation is the racist party. As in the get rid of anyone who's not white out of Australia party. That's the One Nation party under Pauline Hanson. And he said this directly while there were people of color in the room. Well, and like, the expectation is, of course, I'm assuming, can maintain his professionalism and can separate himself from his prejudice while he's doing his job. But he still retains those prejudices in his personal life. The prejudice is not someone who's constantly being racist or sexist or whatever. It's something that they can suppress, of course, for the sake of social acceptance. It's why it's always so shocking when you hear someone who has otherwise never commented on a certain thing, suddenly they pipe up, Joanne. They never had a reason to comment on a thing until all of a sudden they do. And we realize their prejudice has been there all along, generally speaking. These kinds of ideas of having been disdainful towards a specific group of people, they're always stewing there in the background. They didn't just crop up overnight, they're always there. Is all the bullshit done? Well, it depends what the bullshit is. We're talking about prejudice now. Let's talk about like the different types. You know, we talk about the base level of prejudice, of an individual hating other types of individuals. But of course, you know, we can look at this on a broader scale. Cultural prejudice, discrimination against major groups, and this is where it's going to become more particularly relevant to me. The issue in the UK right now, there's a huge TERF issue in the UK right now, huge trans-exclusionary movement in the UK. Children being denied puberty blockers, like teenagers being denied puberty blockers. And I forget the thread that somebody linked me. Where was it? Oh, you know what? I think I bookmarked it. No, I didn't. I didn't bookmark it! Oh my god, I swear I bookmarked this fucking thread. But they've made some strides, unfortunately, the opposing side that hates trans people, because this is the thing, right? There's the justifications they come up with. I'm trying to find this particularly stupid thread. Here we go. Found it. So the gender critical types over in the UK have been doing everything in their power to deny trans youth the opportunity to A, go on puberty blockers from as young as, say, 13 or 14, and then go on hormone replacement therapy at about 16 and older. And they've made some strides in that. I think they've actually managed to shut that down. So now, as far as I'm aware, trans kids can't get prescribed their blockers and can't get prescribed their hormones when they're of appropriate age and can make that decision for themselves, all based on a few individual cases of detransitioners, right? There's like one person I've heard of in this whole thing who's a detransitioner who's like, this is dangerous, they should not allow kids to do this. And as a result, the transphobic people who are working against this kind of thing, who have been doing their lawsuits and all that kind of garbage, what the situation is, like, they're taking the word of one detransitioning person to shut down the rights of who knows how many kids who would like to transition. And, of course, being in your teens is a very psychologically vulnerable time. You know this shit's going to affect them in an incredibly negative way and probably lead to teen suicides. Trans teen suicides. More than likely. But now, they are public, according to this thread, and I don't know if there's any sources here, but it wouldn't shock me, right? They'll shut down trans teens first, because think of the children. And that really works, right? They'll use, this is the problem with like these prejudicial types of people, is they will use kids first. Kids are going, you got to protect the children. Won't somebody please think of the children? Then once they've safeguarded the children are protected now. They move on to older age brackets. This is, explicitly, dare I say the big bad G word. If they're moving on to saying, for example, no one is mentally mature until they're age 25. So they'll say, you shouldn't have, not Google, genocide. If you go and you say, oh, well, okay, teenagers can't take HRT, teenagers can't transition, teenagers can't go on puberty blockers. That sounds reasonable at first to a lot of people. To a lot of people who are not particularly informed on the subject. That sounds reasonable. They're just like, oh, well, yeah, they're young kids. What do they know? And then once they push through the legislation to shut down puberty blockers, to shut down HRT for younger people, they'll move the goalposts. They're not just satisfied with killing teenagers, which is what they're doing. They will then move on to adults. And they'll say, oh, between the ages of 18 and 25, you're not really mature enough to make the decision. You haven't physically and psychologically matured enough to make the decision to transition. Thereby, we should legislate against that. And the thing that really worries me about this happening in the UK is, like, Turf Island. Turf Island over in, what's it called? Great Britain. Make Britain great again. Oh, the thing that worries me is, like, if they can do this over there, if they can do this over in the UK and say, oh, shut down trans kids, then move on to trans adults and try to shut down their medical intervention, try to shut down surgery and hormone replacement therapy for adults, try to shut down the actual treatment of being transgender, then it could come out here. Especially given how closely aligned with the UK Australia seems to be, of course. You do worry that it is a bit conspiratorial, but the right works in the same way, so it's a bit of fighting fire with fire. Yeah. What oh, how you long for the days of your youth wanting to be a pacifist. I still am. I mean, I agree with the notion of punch a turf, punch a Nazi, punch of all that. Punch one of those bastards. But on the same token, I'm like, I don't want to actually physically fight people. Part of the point is, though, that puberty and teen years are really important for trans kids. Yeah, the unfortunate reality is that trans children are going to be... The point that can be made in favor of puberty blockers is that they are reversible. If the kid goes on puberty blockers and later decides, I don't want to transition, they can come off the puberty blockers and if need be, go on estrogen or testosterone to supplement their puberty and grow like normal, basically. But they used an extreme example in Kira Bell to push this through. Kira Bell is someone who had not just puberty blockers, not just hormone replacement therapy, but surgery as well. And she's this extreme example of someone who detransitioned, who went and had full top surgery, full bottom surgery. You know, she was the one who had everything done, basically, by the way. Incredibly privileged to be able to afford all that. And as a result, you know, they blow up that angle of, like, she went through everything and then decided she'd been manipulated against her will. They always try to make it sound like the trans people are trying... Again, this is that agenda thing that we come back to. That agenda that we trans people have of wanting to force people to transition. And as a result, they push through this legislation that prevents... So now, the kids who would want to go on the puberty blockers, the kids who would be having that gender identity crisis and would want to go on blockers, are now being denied the right to do so. And as a result, are being forced through a biological puberty that does not align with their gender identity, which is going to cause numerous secondary sex characteristics, like, for example, in boys, your brow comes in, your jaw comes in, vocal depth, voice deepening, your musculature and bone structure changes overall. And same for girls, same thing. Estrogen has numerous secondary sex characteristics that begin in puberty. And puberty blockers
Welcome to the Rogue Room.
Welcome to the Rogue Room.
Hope you enjoy your stay.
Emma Harv, welcome in. How you doing? Sit down, grab a drink, chill out with us. Hopefully we get to chill out this time. With people, you know, not being in here trying to start shit. I'd like a little less starting shit tonight. That'd be nice. But that's the thing. That's what the puberty blockers are meant to do. They're meant to halt that whole... that puberty process. You still grow, but some of those secondary sex characteristics are delayed. You know? They're delayed and they're, in some cases, halted altogether. And... yeah, like we've said before, you can go on hormones if you decide that either A, you want to transition, or B, you want to come off the blockers. You can still go on hormones and have those effects. And if a kid decides young enough that they want to come off the puberty blockers, chances are their body's going to recover anyway. Their body's going to just say, oh, okay, you've come off that thing. I'll start producing the whatever now. I'll start producing the hormones now. And that's the argument they used, of course, is that Kira Bell went on the puberty blockers and then spiraled into transition. Went absolutely crazy. Oh, I've got a deeper voice now.
Welcome
I've got body hair
Rogue
now.
Room.
Hershey's
We hope
kisses.
you enjoy your
Hershey
stay.
kisses. Welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down and grab a drink, chill out with us. How you doing? Welcome in. You wish you could have gone on and stayed on puberty blockers. That way you would be neither, and that would suit you fine. Yeah. That's the unfortunate reality of the situation. You're like a dude that identifies as a dude mainly as a I'm paranoid of all social friction kind of thing. Yeah, that was me for a good long while there. That was me. Where I'm just like, I pretended to the utmost of my ability to be a dude. I said to myself, I have to be a dude because I was given this thing. And the people in the hospital were like, this is a boy. Because they couldn't have known, obviously. They couldn't have known. And I didn't really know as well. That's the thing. Is like some people come to terms with their gender identity at vastly different ages. Tremendously different ages. I knew first at about age 15. I talked about this. I've actually got a video going up on the very same subject. Like I took a stream clip from last night. I'm going to put that up as a video on the channel. And then tomorrow we're going to have the actual official release of the new big major YouTube video, which some of you might like, some of you might dislike, given the conversations we were having before. Fuck's sake. I have thoughts on cancel culture. And they are detailed in the video, so just watch the fucking video when it comes out. And stop asking me about it. Stop bringing it into my chat. We'll have a post-mortem on that subject on Wednesday. Anyway, so this thread, again, the problem with this thread is there's no references. This is the issue that I have using information like this. But they have said, now that gender-critical transphobes have established a foothold in rolling back rights for trans kids with the Bell v. Tavistock case, they're publicly declaring that they're targeting 18 to 25-year-old trans people next. Here's what to look out for. Watch out for trans-hostile media attacking organizations supporting trans people in their 20s. Claims that young people's brains aren't fully developed until they're 24. This is what Lee retweeted, I think. Gender critical parents of young adults one-sided stories. This reminds me of a thing that I was supposed to read that I forgot to read on a previous stream. We'll go into it because it kind of ties in. Be alert to trans hostile lobbyists, false narratives about safeguarding vulnerable adults, and experimentation. This is the fucking thing that gets me right so badly. You know, I might as well just stay in the scene. It's like, experimentation is not a bad thing. It's like, I hate this argument that is used by people. Or like, my mother is one of these people. She's not a TERF, of course. But my mother is one of these people who doesn't like tattoos because it's like, oh, you're going to ruin your body. It's like, there are so many people I've seen. So many people with tattoos, and piercings, and all sorts of things that they regret. And it's like, tough shit. You know, if you get something done to you voluntarily that you later regret, tough shit. That's the world we live in. You get the opportunity to fuck up. And if you fuck up, congratulations, who fucking cares? That's on you. We shouldn't be caring about other people potentially fucking up, because the moment you take away the opportunity for people to fuck up, everyone starts to look and sound and act exactly the same. And I don't know about you guys, but I have been in churches, and that shit's fucking terrifyingly boring. You wish you'd been brave enough to come out at an earlier age? So do I. But trans teens allowing them to go through a puberty they don't want is abuse. Exactly. If you know your kid is feeling some kind of gender identity disorder, if they feel like they do not align with the gender identity assigned to them at birth, and they are doubting, and they are questioning, and you have the opportunity to take them to a clinic and get them assessed, and, you know, start to maybe lean into that potential for the puberty blockers thing. I don't know if it's available in Australia. I don't know if puberty blockers are available in Australia, but if it were, and you know your child is questioning, and you actively decide to shut down them experimenting in any way, even if it's just them trying different clothes, different hairstyles, a different way of presenting themselves, and if it does get to the point where they want to go on medication, you say no. That is abuse. You are an abusive parent. You are a prejudicial parent. You are explicitly stating that you have discomfort around the idea of trans people. Whenever you were in church, you'd wind up having theological debates with yourself, which you thought was a bit rude, given you were supposed to be worshipping. You know, it was hilarious. I went to church once because there was this chick. She had great tits. And I was trying to, you know. Anyway, went to church with her on 2 separate occasions. And on one of these occasions, I think it was the first time I went there, the pastor. Great tits, Abby. Hello, Wampy. How you doing? And on one particular occasion, the pastor came up to me, the father came up to me, and starts having a conversation. And get this. This is fucking hilarious to me. He says to me, the reason he decided to pursue religion is because he was in science class in school. I can't keep a straight face thinking about this. And he says to me, they said that we come from monkeys, and I thought that was a bit silly. He thought that us coming from monkeys was more silly than imaginary giant white man in the sky. Yeah, that's the more reasonable approach. You know, we can actually observe gorillas and other apes and see characteristics biologically between them and us. We can look at them and say, yeah, I could see how we came from that. Where's the basis for your god? Fuck your internet, that sucks. I'm sorry. Oh, I don't have horny jail anymore. I got rid of it because I changed the way the stream looks. You were raised to be a manly man and made sure not to do anything gay and well about that. But yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. It's like I feel like I was generally surrounded by very masculine men, and I tried my best to emulate them to the worst of my ability. Honestly, I tried so hard to be as masculine and manly as I possibly could. You could argue that me still lifting in the gym is kind of masculine. Did I see your message? Decided to pursue religion in science class, so that's down the hall. Oh gosh, yeah, that becomes a thing too. It's like a lot of queer people I've noticed. Oh, the other one. What was the other one? Hang on, let me get back. Oh, hang on. You were putting away your iPod at the time as everyone was walking in, and one of the church ladies was like, "Don't you want to thank Jesus for your iPod?" No pleasantries, no hi, no, I'm just straight into the Jesus talk. Oh my god. Could go on about the Jesus bullshit. Jeez. Jesus Christ, mate. Okay, I think we'll come back to this in a second, and then I want to talk self-doubt. I do want to talk about self-doubt. I want to talk about the concepts behind it. And maybe we've got a few news articles over here that I could look at. But we'll take a brief 3-minute break-ish. Grab myself some lemon iced tea. And we'll come back. Aside from the dickhead, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna lie, going off at the transphobes, bringing in the fucking sports thing, was cathartic. I was enjoying that, despite my furor. I was enjoying that shit. Don't get me wrong here. Don't act like I was angry legitimately. I was enjoying ripping into those fucking cunts. Alright? That was fun. That was catharsis. And I'm strongly considering using that topic for a future video essay. I want to talk about fitness. Like, I want to talk about video essays as a topic moving forward with my YouTube channel. Because I want to continue doing those. This one was really fun to make, even though rendering it was a fucking nightmare. If I get the opportunity, very soon I will switch my editing software so that I don't get freezes and stutters and all that sort of stuff. Is self-harm an important topic? In what way? We can come back to that. In what way? I mean, I've never self-harmed. So, to me personally, no. In the sense that, I don't have any personal experience with it. And I base a lot of what I talk about on personal experience. And then from that, research. I have been the person, I will say this, before we take our break. Give us another minute. We'll go to 7:30 exactly on my end, and then we'll take a break. I have been the unfortunate therapist to numerous people over the years who have self-harmed. And that's really, especially as a teenager, and this comes back to the whole teen thing. Teens have got a really fucking difficult go of things. Honestly, I do not envy teenagers. Because they're going through such a transformative period in their life, and their brains are going through absolute hell. And, you throw trans on top of that, you throw gay on top of that, or whatever. It's gonna be a nightmare. And then, you have friends who are potentially feeling depressed and suicidal and all that. And I know those kind of feelings can carry over to adulthood, of course. But as you grow to adulthood, I think there is the unfortunate side effect of people don't want to hear about the whole suicide thing anymore. They don't want to discuss that topic. Anyway, it is a huge topic in its own right. We'll come back to discussing it in depth, perhaps, because we're going to talk about self-doubt, which is not in the same space, really. It's a totally different issue. But questioning oneself can lead to potentially thoughts of self-harm. Anyway, my name is Rogue Bitch. Don't go away. If you are interested in subscribing to the stream to support it and skip this ad that's about to come up, please consider doing so. This, my friends, is capitalism. Hecklin, if you are curious, this is Paris Heller's Stream Beats, lo-fi. Why is my camera being a fuckwit? Exclamation mark. Be nice to yourselves and each other, please. How dare you guys not be nice? Let's move on from prejudice, because I was rambling quite a lot, and I don't like to ramble. I'm just gonna do something really quickly. No, I can't even think of, I'm trying to think of a way to tweet, stop coming into my streams and derailing the conversation, you stupid fucks. There we go. There we go. Stop coming to my streams to derail the conversations, you stupid fucks. There we go. Nice. Alright. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this nonsense. So, self-doubt. Should we talk about self-doubt? Should we talk about... Because I was feeling this today. Earlier. The playlist name, it's Stream Beats Lo-Fi. I'll see if I can get the link for it. Hang on. Here we go. Here's this one. Not there, you fucking cuckold. And there's also Stream Beats Synthwave, which is one that I like. This is another one. There you go. So those two are the ones that I listen to. There's also a hip-hop one, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Got quite a few songs. It's made for streamers because it's copyright free, so you don't get DMCA claims or anything like that. That's really good for that kind of thing. I'm gonna get chat to come back up. There we go. Doesn't sound like Ghost Runner OST. No, it's not, sadly. I don't want to risk listening to that on stream, even though I've played the game on stream. For fuck's sake! Camera! Jesus Christ, dude! What is going on with this? Why does my camera do this? It's fine, and then I swear it just fucking veers off into whichever direction it feels like. Sit fucking still, dude. This is what the problem is with that, like, not having the green screen all the way across. And this is why I want to move things around and have my desk against that wall behind me, get rid of my shelving units, and have my backdrop be my bedroom. That would be goals. And then have it with, like, colorful lights and shit and look pretty. You know. Is anything real? No. None of it. It's all fake. We live in a simulation, and it's all, you know, deeply entrenched in our self-doubt. Not, you know, not self-doubt of like, can I do this thing, but the doubt of the self. Am I even real? Self-doubt is your middle name, Kez. I know the feeling. You fucking society. Oh. So, like, self-doubt is, you know, the core concept of it is confidence. You lose it. You lose that confidence, and then what? Where did it go? What do you do when you lose that confidence? What if you are told that you need to be able and willing to fill a certain role, and you say to yourself, I can't do that thing, even though it's been asked of me? And yeah, confidence has always been a thing for me too. It's very, very difficult to ascertain confidence. Not ascertain confidence. To obtain confidence. What does ascertain mean? I keep using that word and I don't know what it means. Google, define ascertain. I've done this before. Find something out for certain, make sure of. Make sure of something. No, that's not what I want. So, confidence is something difficult to obtain for a lot of people, I think. And I think quite a few people are good at faking it. This is the thing of, like, fake it till you make it, right? There are a number of people I've seen over the years who their whole thing is exuding confidence. And you ask them how they do it, and fake it till you make it is a very legitimate piece of advice. Is pretending you have confidence. Is acting like you have confidence. I feel like I've got confidence to speak on camera like this. I've got confidence to put out projects. I've got confidence to do this kind of format. after years of being on camera and practicing and working on the things that I value most about content creation, which in this circumstance is my face and my voice and my opinions and my thoughts. And I've become to a point, again, this is not 100% set in stone, I've become confident to a point about doing this kind of thing. Now, I wish I could do more, honestly. I wish I had the confidence to do more than I am now. And this is why I am strongly considering going back to university, because my deepest desire, my deepest passions at the moment with regards to conversation and thought pieces and opinions and all of that is sociology. I want to go and I want to research the social sciences and know more about those and have the information ready to go in my head. And at the moment, I only know bits and pieces. So there's not a whole lot of confidence on that particular thing. There is confidence in the ability to speak and present. But quite frankly, I don't have the confidence that I'm going to speak and present the right information sometimes. You wish you had the confidence to do something of this style, but you have speech problems. That's another issue, of course, as well. And quite frankly, don't let that stop you. If you do have speech problems, it can still work out for you. But of course, if you decide it's not for you, then don't push yourself to do a thing that you're not at that level of confidence to do. Isn't one homogenous thing? You can be confident in some situations and insecure in others. Absolutely. People confuse confidence with being good in social situations. It is a lot more. There's, like I said, being confident to complete a task that you're entirely by yourself. Being confident to overcome a challenge. Being confident to lose weight, for example. That's a good example because I am sort of a proponent of all that fitnessy stuff. Confidence is more than just, can I talk to people? And the self-doubt issue, of course, it's not permanent. Or at least in a lot of circumstances, it's not permanent. You can overcome self-doubt. You can regain confidence. You can gain confidence in the first place. And there's this feeling of incapacity to do what you need to do. This dread, which in some cases can lead to either procrastination or... what's the phrase I'm looking for? Procrastination or just general disdain for the desire to do anything that you feel you need to do. Whether that be, like, say, housework. There can be self-doubt of doing housework. I could have laundry, I could need to vacuum, tidy up, and all of that, and I could have the self-doubt of, like, can I even do this today? I look at it all and I'm just like, I don't think I can. I don't think I have the capacity in me. Like, sometimes the mental toll of doing something as simple as housework is physically exhausting. And of course it's more than that. And the reason I brought this up was primarily with regards to content creation kind of stuff. I wanted to talk about self-doubt when it comes to content creation, which is a big personal project for me. This stream and this YouTube and all of that, and anything I do off on other content platforms, is all deeply entrenched in that self-doubt that I have. That idea, I'm looking at myself on a camera, I'm looking at clips of myself, I'm looking at pictures, and I'm trying to define, like, am I doing good enough? Am I good enough for people's attention? And that's kind of the problem of doing this kind of thing. Is self-doubt is perpetual in the content creation space. There are many days where I will be sitting there, 2 hours left to stream, still got to do my makeup, haven't done my list of notes that I usually do nowadays, haven't done anything. I'm sitting there and just like, I'm going to fuck this stream up so bad. Or I'm making a video and I'm just like, do I cut out this piece of dialogue? Is that too insensitive? The great thing about streaming really is, like, I could say whatever I want and I could potentially get cancelled over it. Please, I beg someone to take a controversial clip of me and make it go viral somehow. Please, get me viewers. People also tend to ignore the positive aspects. I was going to come around to that. We'll come around to that. But yeah, like, what are the causes of self-doubt, for example? Depends on the topic. You wouldn't think too harshly on yourself. on top of working full time. It's why you just play games and stream sometimes, but mostly because hospitality wants you to work all the time. Well, that's... Working all the time is a bit of a fucking pain, and I feel sorry for you. I've been posting to the ACA. Posting to me like a current affair. Is that what you mean? Wait, what do you mean? But yeah, like if you, like for example, doing this kind of thing. A part of me is like, I'm streaming here, and I'm not doing very big streams, honestly. I could be doing huge streams. I could go live the moment I wake up and not stop until I go to bed. I won't, because I value showering and food, but the atheist community people... Oh, okay. I'll have a look. I think I missed that one. Or, you told me about it and I've forgotten. I've missed the... It's been so much lately. My brain is racked with so many different things going on. Oh, to make me go viral, okay. Gonna go for about 20 minutes radio heckling. Sounds good. And
welcome to the Rogue
oh
Room.
my god.
We hope you enjoy your stay.
Welcome to the Rogue Room. How you doing? Sit down, chill out, have a drink with us. Have a good one. Enjoy that lurky lurk heckling. I might add like a sound effect for lurking, but I feel like that might get annoying. I don't know. Where was I? Let's talk about like the causes of self-doubt, first of all.
Welcome to the Rogue Room. We hope you enjoy your stay.
Alistair the Radio Demon, welcome to the Rogue Room. Sit down, chill out, have a drink with us. Hope you're having a bloody good one. How you doing? Make your lurk emote the opposite of Garen's bush? What's that? This is one of the things that gives me the most intense self-doubt, I think. As someone who is right now striving to be the most popular bitch she possibly can, I was never popular when I was younger. And my past experiences and my mistakes that I've made over the years constantly linger in the back of my head. And I constantly say to myself, someone's going to come in a stream and bring up this thing I did as a kid. And don't do that, by the way, for the record. If you do happen to know something embarrassing about me when I was younger, don't bring it up. First and foremost, like, I do not want to see it in my chat. If you happen to know me personally and you're going to try to humiliate me in my stream chat, like, just kindly fuck off. You know? I'm clearly sitting here talking about how much that stuff affects me. And the big issue, of course, is that, yeah, that stuff sticks with us. And if we're in, so, say for example, public speaking, which is effectively what I'm doing now. Like, I've had streams where I could be talking to an entire university theater of people, honestly. Far more than the 30-something kids that were in my 7th grade classroom, where I went up and I talked about... I don't even fucking know what the topic was, but, you know, the public speaking assignments you would get. Anyway, you're absolutely devilish. I'm doing quite well, Alistair. I love the name. That's fucking great. I love it. But the... as I was saying, the public speaking thing, when I was in, yeah, I'd say 7th grade. I think it was 7th grade. English class, and they're getting us to wrap our heads around the idea that of putting together a presentation for a class, and then going up at the podium, talking about it. And I've done it since then at uni as well, and I'm a little bit more confident. Like, that was a couple of years ago. That was 4 years ago. Trying to go back to uni again this year. Fingers crossed I actually go through the whole thing. But anywho, yeah, I had to do a presentation or two at university when I was there last time. Fuck's sake, dude. I'm so sick of my throat being scratchy like this. It's not even my throat, it's just like I get... I don't know. Like I'm trying to talk and I can't talk. It is that damn COVID. And... that sticks with me, though. That 7th grade presentation, again, I can't even remember the topic, but I'm up there at the podium. I've got my notes. I've got my presentation ready. I think it was actually like a slideshow thing. Remember they used to get you to do slideshows in school? And I had it all set out. I had it all laid out, and I'm standing up there, and I'm like, I do not feel... And, you know, you go on after the other kids. Of course you do. You end up being either in the middle or at the very end. If you are incredibly unfortunate, you get to... Or fortunate, I guess... you get to go first. And then everybody forgets about your presentation because they're watching everyone else's. I'd be terrified to go last, honestly. And I think I was somewhere in the middle or whatever. And I'm up there in front of all these other kids. And I had my information. I did my presentation. I did my slideshow. I had it all ready to go. And I'm standing up there in front of this entire class of people and I'm terrified. You know what makes it worse? Is she meant well. I'll give her... She meant well, this girl. Calls out, "It's your birthday," as like a sort of a take the heat off you for a second kind of thing. Even though it's not my birthday. But then the teacher asks me, "Is it your birthday?" It's like, no. He's trying to big me up. He's trying to gas me up so I get confidence. Kind of worked a little bit. I got through the presentation, but generally speaking, here I am doing this thing, and I could do this to thousands of viewers. Put my face on a camera, on a screen, to thousands of viewers, and there's a certain level of confidence that comes from me being here, and yes, the whole internet could be watching. And the whole internet could be judging me and saying negative things to me and all that. I'm the center of attention. And there's no one else here that can physically hurt me. There's no one else I have to look at and see the expression on their faces. So I think, even though that kind of presentation thing is very difficult for me in some ways, I am now more confident speaking to an audience than I ever have been. At least in some sense. Just realized I took my trans ring off and I forgot to put it back on. Because they say you shouldn't wash your hands with this thing on. Anyway. Genuine confidence requires knowing that one is not defective. Narcissists have false confidence because they're overcompensating for some particular defect. Donald Trump. I've never met a fake person that would admit they're a fake person, but because there is an underlying self-awareness disruption. Yeah. Oh no. You had to do the presentation for Year 8 Geography. One person got caught keeping porn in a folder right next to their schoolwork. The class had a jolly keck and the teacher was oblivious. Oh fuck. Oh god, if the great Randy Pitchford has told us anything, never store your porn on a USB device. The little proletariat. I fucking love that name, dude. Sit down, grab a drink, chill out with us here in the Rogue Room. Hope you're having an absolutely lovely one. Is my camera... I feel like my camera's like just a little too low. That's a little better. Anyway. External hard drive. Separate USB. Label that shit something obscure. Photos of old milk or something. You know? Put an actual label on the USB or the hard drive so you know what it is. Anyway. Don't store porn anyway. I mean, in this day and age. But back then, of course. Now, that's not the only... That childhood experience, that past experience, those past mistakes. It's been more than that, of course. You know, there have been numerous cases during adulthood where I've messed up in front of a group of people. And that sticks with me, of course. But it's not just childhood experience, but like upbringing can also be a big thing. When it comes to how confident you are, depending on like what the circumstance is, what specific kind of confidence you may be dealing with, what kind of self-doubt you may be feeling, can be related to how you were brought up as a child. Year 7, when Mr. Cook stood you up in front of both classes and gave you a public dressing down, including telling you to give up writing and calling at you. What the fucking Jesus? Did he get fired? That cunt deserved to get fired. Jesus Christ. And that's like, really, that ties in directly to what we're going to talk about, the childhood upbringing thing. As kids, we've got a bunch of adult influences in our lives that are trying to direct us one way or another. And if you don't line up with exactly what they're trying to get you to do, and you rebel, and you do the wrong thing, constantly, and you're told that you're doing the wrong thing constantly, you get told that everything you're doing is incorrect, and you need to straighten up and fly right and all that kind of shit, that's going to stick with you. And then when you get into those circumstances that might relate to what you did as a child, you're going to say to yourself, well, I can't do this thing, because obviously I'm going to do it wrong. Whatever that thing might be. I can't think of a specific example. If anyone has a specific example of what I mean, like, hard to say. Someone gives you a task to do as a kid, and you can't do it properly, and you get scolded for it. And then you try to do that same task as an adult. Someone gives you this similar task as an adult, and you're like, well, I can't do this. You know, I just have this stuck in the back of my head. Now, to some people, that kind of thing, even as a child, being scolded for something, might push that child to do better. That is a possibility. It might push that child to strive to work on that thing, but I dare say that's very unlikely or uncommon. Self-awareness has a neurological basis. If somebody has a brain problem, then they can operate part of the time in the absence of self-awareness. Therefore, they can appear confident, just like how numbness is not being wired to one's feelings or emotions. I think I understand what you mean there. Unfortunately, he was a favorite with all the students. What a cunt. Especially with his gaggle of female students around him. Oh, God. Oh, dear Lord. Didn't want to tell your parents because they were also on your back about homework at the time. God damn it. This is what I really want to hammer this into my kids. It's like, come to me with the issues you're having at school. Homework can wait. Tell me about the problems you're having at school. If you have them, children. Have a parent who angers easily and think that has something to do with you being afraid of... with your being afraid to take on responsibility. And that's... I think I understand what you mean. Although them having anger issues is not anything to do with you, of course. That's a them problem. That's a they problem. Systemic compartmentalization of neurological resources, like how the ability to process one's environmental surroundings via peripheral vision is reserved for the driving mode. I know some of these words. I'm thinking driving like a car, but I know that's not what you mean. Come on, out. How's it get? I do not like my cat sitting behind my computer because at any moment... What the fuck? I just opened DevTools. How'd I do that? I don't want that. No. Anyway, I don't like him getting behind my PC because if he gets behind there, he could accidentally flip the power switch and stream over. I'm trying to get him to fucking stop. I'm trying to, like, every time he goes onto that little area where my computer sits, I move him. I'm trying to get that into his head. And now I've got a lunch bar or a breakfast bar in the middle of my kitchen because my mother gave me this breakfast bar thing. So now I can make my sandwich in the middle of the kitchen, I suppose. And he keeps getting up on that, and I don't like him being up on there because I get hair on my kitchen counter, and I'm like, no, stop that shit. You get the last laugh because you're earning more than he ever did, plus you're still writing, though you can suck a fat one and choke on it. What a wanker. Radio broken. Sounds good. Where was I? Childhood upbringing, which is what we were talking about. Now, the thing with me, the issue with me, welcome back, bro. You can do ! Unlurk. It doesn't really do anything. It just posts a message in chat. But anyway. Deserves 40,000 keks. It does. The thing that sticks with me about self-doubt as a result of childhood upbringing, and this is particularly relating to my parentage. And this is not specifically self-doubt, but I think generally speaking. In terms of, and this is a topic I want to discuss at length in another video essay, a very special one to me personally, honestly, is this idea that, like, because my dad was so few and far between during mine and my sister's childhood, we have a relationship with him. We're not like, we don't hate our dad or whatever, but it definitely feels like the relationship between me, my sister, and our dad is quite a bit distant because of the fact that he wasn't really there the majority of the time. And as a result, and I'm not saying that if my dad was around more, I'd still be a dude. I wasn't ever a dude. I'm a chick. But I used to live as a man. But I think generally speaking, I didn't have that significant male influence in any way, shape, or form in my life. It was barely there. So I think there were a number of things that my dad could have helped me with as a child that I missed out on. And as a result, I have a ton of self-doubt on those particular things. Not necessarily relating to gender roles or anything like that. But I think there was a significant part of that, of me, that was kind of taken away by him not being there for the most part. Self-doubt is an inherent side effect of identity disruption. Don't know who I am anymore. Yeah, true. I don't think I have time to go over an hour-long video on the topic. I'd rather talk about my thoughts on it. Maybe another time, though, because I wouldn't mind doing another react stream soon. Although I'd prefer, if we're going to do a reaction stream to something, I'd rather do a reaction to something funny, if possible. Something that's like not funny as in, haha, they're actually comedians. Funny as in, they're trying to say something and we can pinpoint all their stupid arguments. I love doing that kind of format. Funny how we tend to view humans as entire autonomous individuals when even seemingly trivial aspects of upbringing can directly influence decisions in adulthood. This is what I mean, is like there was a time where I said to myself, I'm not a feminist. And I was very vehemently against the idea of being a feminist. And yet, being that my upbringing was specifically feminist, a lot of feminist women in my family that had a huge influence on me. I think when I got to that stage of my life a couple of years ago-ish, where I was like, I'm not a feminist, feminism sucks, feminism is stupid. And I still think like the broad concept of feminism is marred by the fact that there's so many different definitions of it. But I still identify myself specifically as a feminist now, and that upbringing that I did have has most certainly influenced a lot of my thoughts and opinions on a number of things. So thereby I have a lot of confidence on those particular things. The execution is the problem at the moment. Misandry is not feminism. No. We shouldn't be making enemies of people. Feminism is not specifically women-centric, surprisingly. It's about uplifting women and empowering women, but it's also about tearing down essentially what we obviously know as the patriarchy, which is this system of ideas and concepts that lord over our society, which are, patriarchs. We're not talking about dad. We're talking about the ruling figures of society, which are by and large, obviously, wealthy men. Generally speaking, wealthy old white men. And the systems they put in place that benefit themselves directly. And the vast majority of men are negatively affected by this system as well. You should be a feminist. But anyway, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Sun Tzu. That's the art of war, is it? Or is that a different one? Because, I imagine it would be the art of war. What about Caitlin Bennett? What about Shit Her Pants Bennett? What's she doing these days? I don't even know what she's doing these days. Shitting her pants, probably. First and second wave was legit about empowering women. Third wave is a shadow of what the first two were. Yeah. There have been definite issues, and this is the problems. Like, you got the rad fem situation. There are certainly radical feminists. And, shockingly, the one radical feminist in Australia that everyone knows, whose name escapes me at the moment, can't remember what her name is actually a trans supporter. Kind of shockingly. Forgotten what her name is now. God damn it. The one who was like, COVID isn't killing enough men. What was her name? Forgotten what her name is. I can't. But the issue with the multiple different waves of feminism and the multiple different ideologies within feminism is what makes it difficult to discuss the general concept of feminism. If you say, "Oh, I'm a feminist regarding this thing or that thing," somebody might take offense at you being a feminist because they don't know which branch of feminism you're under, for example. So you don't want to... And then you have the issue of like, okay, I'm going to say I'm a feminist. What kind of feminist am I? It's very, very tricky. So, how did we get onto this from childhood upbringing? I don't even know how we got onto this, but okay. Rule 2, everyone. Stay on topic. Feminists can definitely disagree on fundamental issues. Absolutely, they can. Getting sidetracked, but it's a good discussion to have. One big one. I'm like sort of going off a list that I've got here. And then, of course, and this is a huge one. This one's a huge one for self-doubt. We haven't even gotten into the solutions for self-doubt yet. Comparison with other people. This is huge in content creation, in the streamer community. Comparing yourself to other people. If you are a streamer, if you are a creator, or if you are in another space in general where the opportunity presents itself for you to say, that person's doing better than me at the thing I'm supposed to be good at. That's always, and yeah, like I said, especially as a streamer, I see someone say, oh, I got partner, I got into the partner program. They share their email that they got from Twitch. Yay, I got into the Twitch partner program. I look at them and there is that moment of resentment. Like, how dare you? You're doing better than me. And they'll say, like, I got partner in less than a year. And there's that moment of resentment, that moment of self-doubt. It's like, I couldn't do that. Why couldn't I do that? How come I'm not getting enough viewers to get partner in a year? What the fuck? I deserve it. Why am I so bad at this? You start to doubt yourself. And as a streamer, like I've had streams where I'm sitting there and I'm doing everything in my power to be the best streamer I possibly can. And this is why. Okay, 100%. This is why I just dropped games by and large. Because this is the one point where self-doubt has no influence. I'm so good at this thing. Makeup. I'm so good at talking. I'm not trying to gloat. But genuinely speaking, watching my own streams back, there is a tactic that some other streamers will tell newer streamers, go back, watch your VODs. Is it something you'd like to watch? I'm sitting there watching my own streams, looking for good clips, looking for good highlights, and I'll often just leave my cell phone and get distracted on Twitter or whatever, still listening to myself talk. And I'm just like, bitch, you're supposed to be working using that video footage. I'm like, I'm legitimately sitting there listening to my own content and enjoying it and having a good old time revisiting the topics that I have talked about and maybe like reasserting certain ideas. And it says to me, and the amount of people that have said to me that they enjoy it, thank you, by the way, Midnight, like a good podcast, exactly. You want to be able to listen to it in the background and just chill out to it. And the whole thing is like, I am well aware, and I've gone back and I've watched my gaming streams and I'm like, this is boring. This is not interesting. I mean, I liked playing Dead Space. I enjoyed the whole thing, but like at the end of the day, it was just me playing a video game. Anyone can play a video game. Anyone can stream a video game. To have the capacity to talk for 3 hours long and to keep going and to have varying topics and varying discussions. My Minecraft videos were good. Those are gone. I deleted them. Or like actually delete forever them on YouTube. They're gone. They are completely deleted. I kind of regret doing it in a way because I don't think I can ever get those back now. But I mean, Minecraft is honestly, that says to me, quite frankly, exactly the essence of what Minecraft is about. Wiping out those videos and wiping out like all my old him videos in general. Like my old Minecraft Let's Plays, there was no face cam. So I could have left those up comfortably enough, honestly. And that's the very essence of Minecraft, isn't it? You know, some people like to keep a world through various updates over the years. But me personally, I'm just like, I delete a world and I start again. Over and over and over again. And there are so many other people I know who've done the same. They're just like, oh, I built this really cool thing one time. The world got deleted. That's just the essence of Minecraft. Reaper. There you go. Now I have to... Oh, there's no glitter on my lips. On my finger. Cool. I have got like a glittery, purpley lip gloss on. Oh, yeah, gloss. On. Yo, Pin Dips. How's it going? We're talking about self-doubt, content creation, Minecraft apparently. Consider revisiting Minecraft in a one-off video of some kind. I do have an idea for it. I'll have to try to figure out how exactly to do it, but I do have an idea for it. There have been a few concepts in Minecraft that I would like to explore in a video essay format. I don't know what exactly. Get unadulterated advice from a complete stranger, hit me. Why not? Yeah. Excuse me. My nose is running, but yeah, go ahead. I don't know why my nose does this when I'm wearing makeup. This doesn't happen when I'm not wearing makeup. My nose runs. But dude, probably because all my pores are like blocked in. And the only place for any sort of liquid to escape. In COVID, we all got urges. Okay. You have a suggestion? Hit me, Broken. You got shit to do next week. What do you got to do? You're like virtually dating 12 people. How is that? Okay. I mean, in what capacity? How serious are any of these 12 people? How serious are these relationships? Because, I mean, if you're just flirting with people, I don't see a problem. But you'd have to know, like, what kind of thing, what kind of relationship values do they have, you know? Connor Shaw, they're a non-binary content creator who does a lot of opinionated videos, but he's so good at it, you feel like a future collab could happen. Really? That's interesting. How big are they in terms of their following? Because I would like to collab with more creators, and tonight was supposed to be an episode of Mask Off, but my friend who I invited on, things went by the wayside. So next week, I'm gonna try to get, I don't know, who do we get on? I might try to rebook them for next week, if they can remember, but I've got a few other people listed that I want to have on. Ruthie is one I want to have on. Who else? I was going to have Ivory on at one point. I don't know when. I'm trying to think. Who else can I have on the stream? Because this was actually supposed to be my kind of, typically you would call it a podcast because we would have a guest on and we'd talk about topics that are important to them, relevant. But so I kind of threw today's stream together on a whim, based on a few things that I've been thinking about over the past couple of days. It ranges. Like, there are some very interested in a relationship, others are chill about it. You try to be as honest as you can and tell them your intentions, but you know how these things go. Feelings form and develop. Yeah, I've in the past. I do not date at the moment. This is the thing. I do not date. I do not talk to people in that capacity at all. But I have been in the situation in the past where I've been flirting with a couple of different people at once, but never going anywhere serious with it. Dating 12 people but you can't feel loved. Gotta love yourself. 24, 36, 48 partners won't make you feel loved. That's true. Quit over comment. It's like rich people that hoard shit even though it still hasn't made them happy. Did you see? Yeah, link their Twitter if you want. Did you see Conor McGregor's fucking watch, by the way? Can I bring this up really quickly? I retweeted it. Thing from a health... Oh, yeah, Kat. Absolutely. I'll hit her up. I'll send her a DM. That'd be amazing. She has the perspective of someone... She has the perspective of someone for whom life is particularly expensive. Absolutely. I'll reach out to her. You know who else? Forget Mike is one I've hit up. He's a bit busy at the moment, so he can't really meet the time that I'm going for, like 6 p.m. on Mondays. Did you hear the cat? Probably. Let me just show you this really quickly. What the fucking dicking fuck is this piece of fucking garbage? What the absolute coccyx is this fucking shit? $1 million Astronomia baguette watch. Ugh. Anyway. Just on the topic of expensive. Why do I have Facebook open, by the way? Hang on. Let me go back. Connor Shaw v... Oh, hang on. That's the... Oh, you were thinking of the sex watch. Okay. Connor Shaw. Okay. I'll follow them. And I'll interact with them a bit and see if we can't form a rapport there. That sounds good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that recommendation. The sex watch. I don't know of that one. That's the only Conor McGregor watch I've seen. From a health and finance perspective, that would be good because I'd know a lot about health, diet, and all that kind of stuff, and I would love to talk about it more at length. And Kat is a chef on Twitch. Does a lot of cooking streams. I think she does occasionally do gaming streams. Not really the issue here. You're happy to be alone. You're just trying to get out there again and see what's available. So you think it's fine to date multiple people. It is. It absolutely is. It's fine to date multiple people as long as you're honest about your intentions. In my opinion. Don't mislead people. Don't lead people down the wrong path. Because that can lead to self-doubt. If you lead a number of people down the road of like, oh, I really like you. I'm really confident this could go somewhere or whatever. And then that's a big thing is like if you get to a point where you have a number of people interested in you and you break it off with them or whatever. Like, I mean, just breaking up with someone in general can destroy their confidence. Andrew Yang. Yes, the presidential candidate. Previous presidential candidate. Tweeted something about this. I don't know why. I'm looking at this tweet. Where did he post it? Come on, dude. Walking around a marketplace today on the Lower East Side. Oh no, that's not it. God damn it. Where's the tweet, Yang? Yang Gang, where's the fucking tweet? Here we go. Spoke to a young man in Queens yesterday who was struggling with the end of a long-term relationship. He was 22. I told him that he had a ton to look forward to and that the intensity decreases over time. It does. And he does. What is... What? I mean, I like Andrew Yang. I think he's pretty cool. But like, what? What does this mean? I guess that's him trying to be more relatable. Trying to come across as like he's a really good dude. He seems like a good dude. But it's like, what? Why are you tweeting this? I don't get it. Oh god. It's great though. And that's good advice, because you know, I've had the situation of being the one who broke it off on 2 occasions. 2 separate occasions. I broke it off. And the self-doubt that came with that after the fact. It was like, no one's ever gonna love me again. I was, you know, I was in that space of like, I've done such a horrendous thing by ending this relationship. Heinous. Absolutely disgusting. No one will ever love me again. Either you reject or I rejected it. Either outcome sucks. And it destroys you. And there are, of course, some people who, psychologically speaking, don't feel these kind of things. There are... It's in some ways sociopathy, I believe. There are people who... There are people who will just date around and not stick with anyone.
I see you brought
Batch!
This. Welcome, friends.
Welcome, friends. How you doing? We're talking about self-doubt in numerous forms today. How you doing, Batch? How was your stream? What were you getting up to? Tell me all about it. Has to do with attachment style? Yeah. Like, you can be dating someone briefly and casually and not really go beyond more than just a casual situation. And break it off, and you can break it off and just stay friends or acquaintances or whatever and not really care all that much. Chilling out of Minecraft? Nice, nice. Tonight's been good. We started off really fiery tonight. It was really good. Really got into it. Ripped into some transphobes. Fantastic. It was a raid. This is the first time I think I've been raided since doing Just Chatting, honestly. Oh no, Calgar raided me a little while ago. I think because people aren't really familiar with the format and they're not sure if you can raid a Just Chatting streamer, it feels like. That being said, to be a little bit arrogant, I'm pretty happy with the way my numbers have been performing of late in the Just Chatting category, so I'm not too fussed about too many raids. But thank you, Batch. What were we doing on Minecraft? Because we were just touching on Minecraft briefly, and the idea of, believe me, I'm going to give this idea some serious thought, a video essay on Minecraft in some way, and I'm trying to figure, like, now I'm just racking my brain, like, there's an idea here. You could do this. You could do a video essay, Abby, on Minecraft and tie it into socio-political issues. You can do this. I was mainly doing something on a prison server. Oh, okay. How does that work? It's been a while since I played anything other than vanilla Minecraft, honestly. So modded stuff completely I don't understand it. The media couldn't buy Yang out like some of the other corporate Democrats. He was too far left for the right, and the left had numerous doubts on his UBI. And yeah, like Azera said, pandemic stimulus is basically UBI anyway. So it's like, it's clear they can do it. It's clear they can do UBI, and they just refuse to do so. Get the fuck out of here. Dig, rank up, get free, continue. Sounds good. Also the effects on someone with autism. Wait, what was that relating to? I've missed the... Oh! No, I've lost it. Never understood the appeal of just chatting. I mean, for me specifically, it's talking topical discussions. Oh, Minecraft, okay. The effects on some... Oh, that could be a thing. Pin dips.
Hope you enjoy your stay.
Guys, been real lots to think about. Love you guys supporting people and just being there. Well, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Rogue Room. Chill out, grab a drink, hang with us. Appreciate you being here. I mean, yeah, Minecraft and autism could be a thing. Minecraft and the... Oh, There's so much in there. Connor is autistic as hell. I feel like there is a correlation, not a causation necessarily, but there does seem to be a correlation between autism and trans and NB identity. It seems like. The appeal of just chatting, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong, like there are many just chatting streamers I've swung by their streams and I'm like, this isn't fun. But for me personally, the appeal, and this is the thing, is like you could argue the streams that I do are podcasty or talk showy in their own way, because we have a bunch of topics, we do news sometimes, and as a result I could probably stream in either the podcast category, the talk shows and podcast category, or the politics category if I'm doing politics, but the unfortunate situation is like nobody watches those categories. So I stay with the just chatting category like a lot of people tend to do. I've seen people stream games in just chatting, honestly. Because there is a huge number of eyes on the just chatting category, which is a bad thing for growth if you're playing a video game, but it seems like, to me at least, there has been a little bit of incremental growth in just chatting. In terms of average viewership, new people coming in. I've seen so many new people coming in since switching to this format. And I think that's, yeah, I'm not quite sure I understand the entire category just yet, of course. There'd be a lot to look into, but different strokes for different folks, I guess. You like video games, but you much prefer just chatting? I feel like just chatting streams would be good for listening to somebody talk about something while you play a video game. That might be an idea to think about. I think UBI is a great idea for tackling poverty line issues and poverty-induced stress, but other mechanisms of support are necessary. Absolutely. But that's socialism and your responsibility. I'm sorry that I want people's basic needs to be met. I need to, on the subject, I set this as a goal for like, if I meet 315 subs per month, that would meet my basic cost of living stuff. That does not factor in rent, by the way. I don't think. Let me have a look. I think I mentioned this. Where's my fortnightly budget? What I did. Oh no, hang on. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. No, yeah, it does. Okay. It doesn't... I think I need to redo my budget. And then I might recalculate this and change the title to something like cost of living. Cost of living sub goal, to give you perspective on how many subs it would require per month to turn this into a legitimate job, because that's still not accurate. I think that's a fortnight's expenses, so double that. That includes rent, electric, car loan, gym membership, phone, Google Plus, whatever it is. No, not Google Plus. What's that thing? There's like a Google storage, Google One, whatever it is. I don't know. So that's $2.50. That doesn't matter. But yeah, I wanted to do that as like a perspective thing. There's now like the sub goal is no longer actually a sub goal. It's a perspective thing. It's more about how much money would you need? How many subs would you need to turn yourself into a legitimate streamer, and that's your only source of income? It's a lot. The number is a lot. Therapy games video. That's interesting. People from Scandinavia, and they have what the US would call socialism, but they are among the happiest people in the world in recent years. One of the things that tends to come up when you mention other countries, especially smaller countries like Scandinavia and the like, I believe there was actually a video by Gravel Institute about that very topic. And the thing the counter argument they love to use is that country's a lot smaller. That country's got a much smaller population, thereby it costs them less or some shit like that. I don't know. They give you some kind of garbage argument. Radio Batch, enjoy that, lurk. The reality is the people under financial stress literally struggle to make rational decisions as a direct result of stress. Hang on, let me... Not that, there we go. The left's version of PragerU. That's the mission statement. Let me change this real quick. There we go. That's good. That's a good title. Being poor is expensive. This is the thing that I mentioned. Okay, I need that behind me. Alright. No, that's not even... There we go. Hello, Soul Eater Grim. How's it going, dude? What's going on? What's the news? What's the haps? Capitalism bad. I mean, there's more on the self-doubt topic, but I've sort of dropped it for now. We'll move on to capitalism bad for a bit, because capitalism is bad. Change the title of capitalism bad. I was going to bring up something and I've forgotten what. Like, the system of capitalism is, of course... I had this up before. I was reading about this. Why is my caps lock on? I don't need capitalism. I don't need caps lock. I need capitalism. I don't need caps lock. Just chilling. Been playing a lot of Phasmo. How's it treating you? How's Phasmo treating you? But yeah, being poor is definitely very expensive. It's very, very expensive because you have like people who are living in a system where they have more income. They have enough income that can cover their, the cost of housing and their electricity, their car repayments. They can have a couple of dogs and kids, and they can have a house that's big enough for everyone to have their own room and all of that kind of thing. But poor people, and on top of that, they can save, And the thing is, if you're born into that kind of situation, that kind of financial situation where you have enough money and you don't have to worry, there's a bug in my room, where you've never had to worry about, like I mentioned in the past, I grew up as child one of two to a divorced single mother who worked full-time to support us as a bank teller before, and then she was working full-time and studying as much as she could at uni to get herself a degree so that she could support us better. And over time that's worked out for her. She's got a good job now, but I'm a fully grown adult at this point, and I did not have the privilege. I did have the privilege of having a house over my head. I did have the privilege of having a mother who cared very much for me, who does. But I never experienced the privilege of, for example, I had the misfortune of dropping out of school due to social pressure. And as a result, there's a lot of things that I have not learned that would have probably helped me in adult life, that would have helped me to perhaps cement myself more properly in a better economic situation. And right now it's very difficult to get out of that particular economic situation. And that's by design. If I were to try to go for a standard entry-level job, I still probably wouldn't be making enough money to be surviving, to be covering everything, to be able to save, to be able to pay all of those bills. It's very expensive to be poor. Have some well-paid friends who struggle financially because of peer pressure when it comes to how someone of their earnings should spend their money. That's another thing too. That's another situation. Is I've heard it's actually still very, very expensive to be middle class. To have enough money to cover all of the things that you need, right? I think if I were making enough income, I'd try to be as frugal as I possibly could, of course. But when you get into that middle class income bracket and you are making enough to be stable and have all the things that you could possibly want, then yeah, the peer pressure steps in. All of a sudden your friends are getting new cars, or they're doing renovations to their house, and you're just like, well, they're doing it, I should probably do that. I should buy a yacht. Still fuck rich people, of course, absolutely fuck rich people, and yeah, fuck minimum wage. Fuck the concept that people should be selling their labor for less than it's worth. There should be no reason that somebody could work 40 hours a week in a certain job and not be able to cover their cost of living. That's baffling to me. You used to die a lot at the beginning, and then you got used to the game and stopped dying. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I've only played a little bit of it. It was actually genuinely scary playing Phasmo. Well-designed game, that one. Well-designed game. And let me think. Excusez-moi. Now, of course, capitalism negatively affects anyone except those at the very top. The situation of poverty is bad. Obviously, poverty is very, very bad. But everyone who's not at the very top of the situation is being negatively affected by it. And one of the big reasons they're being negatively affected by it is indoctrination. There's a lot of people who will defend capitalism because it's given them some benefits over other people, and they will say to those poor people, those actual poor people, impoverished people, that they need to just pull themselves up by the bootstraps and defend people like Jeff Bezos for being job creators and Bill Gates and all these people. They defend billionaires. They defend people like Elon Musk. Do not defend Elon Musk. I really hate the cult of personality that's cropped up around Elon Musk. He's not a good person. He does not care about you. Do not give him the benefit of the doubt. Radio Azera, sounds good. We really believed in capitalism and investment. We would invest in the mental health of the population because it would improve productivity. But that's not how it works. I'm sorry I missed that comment, Azera. You've just gone to work and I just read that comment. Sorry. Except what capitalism is and what people see it as are two different things. Well, what capitalism is major corporations owning the means of production and having thousands, millions of people working under them, selling their labor for significantly less than it is worth, producing more and more profit for the ones at the top, which does not trickle down. That never happens. Trickle-down economics is not a real thing that happens. It's never happened. There's no proof of it. There's no evidence of it. It doesn't work. Not in a capitalistic system. All of that money, all of that result of the capitalistic workforce goes to the top. And people at the bottom get paid pennies on the dollar, sort of thing. And this is why we have people who are working 2 full-time jobs in parts of the United States largely, but there are people here in Australia too who are working full-time jobs, multiple full-time jobs, or multiple part-time jobs. They're taking up every waking hour they possibly can working to be able to barely afford to live. And, like, what do you do with that circumstance? Where do you go from there? Most of your friends got motorbikes around the same time. A few years later, most are on 1000cc bikes and give you shit about it. Never cared because you never wanted a giant bike and your 250cc does the job you bought it for. What was the thing? Oh, yeah. As someone who works for Amazon, you really despise Bezos. That's the unfortunate reality of Amazon being so fucking huge, is he's a detestable person. But Amazon's got, like, everything on it. And everyone knows about Amazon. And as a result, they keep... You're not gonna stop Jeff Bezos. You're not gonna stop Amazon. It's never going to cease being such a profitable... well, not industry. Such a profitable company. Speaking of... There was something, I can't remember exactly what the context was, but somebody was saying how such and such would affect this company. And then they stopped themselves and said this country. They were referring to America. This person, I don't remember exactly what the context was, but there's some person on the news was going like, this is going to really negatively affect this country. Follow Sanders' message, billionaires should not exist, and the media lost it. Yeah, exactly. Billionaires should not exist. There's no reason for anyone to be a billionaire. And this is what my huge problem, and the problem you should have as well, with the people who are defending billionaires. And I can't believe I had this argument with someone again on Facebook. Don't argue on Facebook, please. Save yourself the mental trauma. Don't argue on Facebook. I had this person say to me that Jeff Bezos started from nothing and created Amazon, except for that $300,000 investment his family gave him. And he came from wealth. Came from money to begin with. Don't deep throat the boot. Like, if your parents have enough money aside to loan you $300,000, you're well off. Amazon was always going to be a success, alright? There's no he never took a risk, is what I'm trying to say. Jeff Bezos never took a risk. And there are people who get to a certain point in there. It's usually like middle-classy kind of people. Maybe upper middle class. It's hard to say exactly upper middle class. Yeah. Like once you reach a certain income threshold, there tends to be a political shift towards favoring capitalism, because capitalism has given them everything that they want, by and large. It's given them a very cozy, comfortable lifestyle with marble floors and downlights. You know, so all of a sudden they're just like, oh yeah, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they're good, they're fine, yeah. Because they lord over the companies that have given these people their income. And all of a sudden there's this brand loyalty that comes up. Secular Talk spoke about this exact topic, probably at a greater educated viewpoint than I. But this is not news, this is not a radical viewpoint that I'm sharing here. It's not something that's unusual. This is like, I'm just, honestly, and this was the thing that I tweeted about earlier, it's like, I feel like I'm just parroting ideas that I've heard numerous times before, but it feels good to compartmentalize them into one stream sort of thing, into one bit of content. I'm on a roll, that's true. Is it a vegan roll? How many rolls, how many bread rolls are vegan? Because, I mean, you don't need to use, like, say, eggs to make bread, do you? That's mainly, like, cakes and stuff. It's a kebab. Ooh. Is it a vegan kebab? And that's another thing, honestly. Somebody mentioned. This is a tweet that I saw earlier. Why is my light still so saturated? Not saturated. So bright. Hang on a sec. My ring light is so fucking bright right now. Oh, okay. I don't know. My light feels like it's really washed out right now. Why have abs when you can have kebabs? Because then if you've got abs, you can post them on social media and people give you likes. My light is right. Yeah, I need to get this bastard out of my house. Honestly, I can't stand having a roommate that is a ring light and is right wing. Can't stand it. It's killing me. Anyway, somebody mentioned, I forget who tweeted, somebody retweeted this onto my timeline. They retweeted it and quote tweeted it, sort of thing. And this person was like saying that the most poor people, welcome back, Kez, by the way. Somebody was saying that poor people are the most likely to be vegans because they'll eat rice and beans to get their sustenance, and that's it. It's like, I'm sorry. Have you seen the cost of eating vegan foods? And certain meats, such as pork, beef, etc., can be frozen and provide much higher sustenance. They can be frozen for significant lengths of time, and you can come back and defrost them later on. And the majority of poor people, at least in first world countries, are still going to eat those meats. And yeah, being vegan is expensive. Like, poor people are not going vegan. If someone is eating a diet of rice and beans, they're not doing so as a political statement. Let's get that right out of the way right now. My fucking camera, dude, is driving me... Not my camera. My monitor's position is pissing me the fuck off. I need to fiddle with this. Breaking reality. I need to. Historically, people didn't eat that much meat, and it wasn't on purpose. Yeah, like meat... The meat industry has now dominated so significantly that meat is cheap. You know, you can buy meat cheaply. And a lot of people will. People who live in lower socioeconomic areas will still buy a lot of meat and freeze it so that they've got it for later on. They'll buy meat on discount, for example. It's got like 2 days left. It's good for 2 more days. They'll freeze it and have it for later. Keep it for the week or whatever. And exactly, trans power. Absolutely. But it's like more relatively recently in history that we've gone so heavily into animal agriculture. And now the concept of eating clean and healthy and, well, I mean, again, veganism is it's very much a political statement about the treatment of animals in animal agricultural settings. Fucking Christ, dude, I really hate this. I need to get a tripod for my camera specifically, or something. I could fasten it to my ring light, honestly. I could do that. The angle would look a bit different, but I could fasten it to my ring light. I might fiddle with that. Anywho, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Most of your WOG friends have like 2 to 3 deep freezers. Jesus Christ. And I mean, I've met WOG families. They tend to be very big families. They tend to have a lot of money. They could buy multiple big freezers. Artificial food kind of helped us live longer. Kind of. Like, preservatives, for all the shit we give them, have helped a lot of things. Salt. Wasn't it, didn't people used to keep meat in salt to preserve it? They could feed an army. Plus fortified foods. Define fortified foods. But yeah, as someone who's been dipping her toes into the vegan thing recently, vegan is not cheap. Poor people, again, are not eating vegan. You can't say that someone is eating vegan if they are on a diet of like rice, noodles, beans, if they are on the cheapest food they can get, they're not eating vegan, they're eating poor. And again, there are meats that will keep for a very long period of time that you can buy very cheaply, pork being one of them. Iodine in bread or salt, for instance, stopped many illnesses which were a problem once from... Oh, okay. There you go. There's a factoid I didn't know. It would make sense, though. Where else was I going with this? I've forgotten the point I was going with this. And, I mean, I am of a particular level of privilege here where I don't have to consider, at least not yet, the idea of living solely off, you know, this sort of rice, beans, very, very lean sort of stuff. So like I said, I've been dipping my toes into a few vegan things, and the cost of a pack of regular cheese would be like $7 for a 24 pack, and this pack of vegan cheese was $8 for a 10 pack. So you can see like the difference there. Like sliced vegan cheese is significantly more expensive. You go and get plant-based burger patties. The comparison is like $9 for these burger patties for a pack of 4 versus $6, I think, for a pack of beef burger patties. And the options are limited, you know. Of course, you can go vegan without buying processed, pre-packaged foods if you would prefer to, but the notion that trans people, the notion that vegan people, that poor people are going vegan, is absurd. It's patently absurd. You absolutely could. And that's not something to be proud of either. Like people who have been, people who are saying, you know, oh, you could. Where was I going with this? Proud of that argument. People who are proud of that argument. I don't know. I've lost my train of thought now. It's great. I've lost my train of thought on that whole thing. Hey, Charlie, how you doing? Welcome back in. Because of abundance, people had limited access to food and calories, so they didn't have this freedom. Well, yeah. Nowadays, we have a lot of ways to preserve food. We have a lot of ways to keep it. A lot of ways to distribute it. And again, I said this last time, we live in a post-scarcity society, at least in the first world countries. I hate the term first world countries, in capitalist countries. We are in a post-scarcity situation, and one of the major reasons you should go vegan is to try to shut down not just animal abuse in the animal agriculture industry, but to shut down the excess pollution that is coming from all of those animals being constantly processed, I suppose. Found it really hard to prepare home prepare vegan meals, and the vegan products you buy in the supermarket are really dear or don't even really taste that good. I don't mind the plant-based patties; they're nice, and I've found, you know, alternatives to the non-vegan stuff I was eating. But I've still got regular milk in the fridge. I've still got other things in the fridge, for example. But yeah, we're not even really talking capitalism. We're talking veganism at this point. How you doing, Jack Rhodium? What's going on? Rice milk? I'll give that a try. I really like almond milk at the moment. There are cheaper ways to do it. It just takes research and practice, like with anything. Like with me, I spent months and months, years on learning what types of foods have got what types of macronutrients in them. Most of that information has just gone out of my head, honestly. And that was primarily for dietary reasons, for fitness's sake. We are talking about food at the moment. We're talking about veganism, we're talking about capitalism and its role in veganism, or rather its role in distribution of food, preservation of food, and a variety of different things. I haven't spoken at length about food in a while. Food, neuron activated meme. Yeah, big brain, huge brain, galaxy brain stuff. I mean, most of my information that I have about food is how many calories does this thing have? How much protein, fats, and carbohydrates does this thing have? For example, like we eat a ton of carbohydrates: potatoes, bread, crackers, rice, of course, pasta. So much of the food that we consume on a regular basis is absolutely carb-laden. But of course, you can eat all of those kinds of things, and you can still lose weight. Eating a carb-heavy diet is just a little bit more tricky. Used to make these really nice kofta bowls. Simple ingredients, but it made a tasty bolognese meal. That sounds good. Hey, Baz, how you doing? I hope DBD is treating you well. I know carbs taste so good, it sucks. I love pasta. I haven't eaten pasta in months though. It feels like months. It feels like ages since I've eaten pasta, but I love it. And rice. I've been loving sushi lately. Sushi has been my go-to. But like bread is really easy because you go to the supermarket, you just buy a loaf of bread or you buy bread rolls or whatever, and that's really, really easy. Maybe one or two a day. Maybe one time a day or two. Never felt happier in your life? Well, that sounds good. Because, like, I would like to get down to really low carbs, but I haven't been doing macro tracking recently. I've just been doing low calorie, and it's been working for me to lose fat. You recently read a book, forgot its name, on why intentional weight loss rarely works long term. That's biased. I don't even need to know the name of the book.
Room.
Jack Rodian.
We hope you enjoy your stay.
Grab a drink, sit down and chill with us. Could be a drink of water if you like. Completely carb free. I'm going to say right now, any book that says intentional weight loss rarely works long term is entirely biased.
Thank you for your
Oh my god, and
membership.
a subscription.
Please, enjoy all the delights of the subscriber lounge.
You know, we haven't gone to the sub lounge tonight. Not that I've been really using it all that much lately, but welcome to the sub lounge. That's 2 or 3 subs tonight. Thank you so kindly. I appreciate that so much. But yeah, the any book that's like, oh, diet culture or like intentional weight loss doesn't work long term comes from a point of it didn't work for them. The author, it didn't work for them. They have a few friends where it didn't work for them. And it's like, the reason why is because they relapsed into eating the bad foods that got them overweight in the first place. How do I call you? My pronouns are she and her, if that's what you mean. You need more veggies in your diet. Maybe you should try some of those pre-cut carrot and cucumber. Those are good. You'll be at the bar. The bar is the Be Right Back screen, which is just that door over there, I think. Anyway. If it was so easy to lose weight, though, why is it such a persistent issue? The obesity crisis that we face now is an issue of the last 100 years or so. Is the way to... my pronouns are she, her. I'm a girl. Anyway, the obesity crisis that we have today, especially in capitalistic countries, is specifically an issue of the past 100-odd years. The diet culture that we have been fed into promotes excess to such an obscene degree that a lot of people find it really difficult to get away from it. The world went from food shortages to food abundance in certain countries. Rogue. Rogue is, yeah. I thought you meant my pronouns, and I'm like, yeah, Rogue. Rogue works. Or Abby. Sorry about that. I'm confused. Anyway, the Abby Pog promotes excess and decadence. Yeah, like there was a time thing, and this is the thing that people who are proponents of the idea of like weight loss doesn't work love to go on about this particular thing. That way back when, before we had the abundance, people who were overweight were considered desirable, considered attractive. And nowadays, you know, abundance, and the reason was because those people, kings and other monarchs and the like, had an abundance. They had more than enough food. They didn't need all the food that they had, but they ate a lot. And they were seen as desirable by the populace for that reason. So why say it's easy for the individual to lose weight? Because it is. You were seen as fertile. Well, it wasn't fertile. You were seen as wealthy. Was the take that I got from it. And I went over this recently. Like the 2 factors of losing weight. Excuse me. The 2 factors of losing weight are eat less and move more. The unfortunate reality of the situation is the society we live in right now is there's one big thing, right? Nutrition information, unfortunately. The laws around listing nutrition information, at least in Australia, I don't know about worldwide, specifically allow food companies to lie on their nutrition information by about a factor of 20%. Because of variances in the distribution of the product, they can say, oh, this has this many calories. So they can estimate, they can ballpark it. So they have that safety net of around 20% of where it would actually sit. You know, this loaf of bread per serve might be 200 and something calories. But an actual serve might be close, like it might be around 250 per 2 slices of bread, for example. But they could drop that lower on their thing and just say, oh, well, and they can get away with it. The water you're drinking has 3,000 calories per sip. I should switch to diet water. Diet water with no sugar. Yeah, get your grammar correct, Jeffrey. Goodness gracious me. If everyone technically could lose weight if they tried hard enough, there are factors that made them fat in the first place. Eating too much. And this is the thing, is like culturally, this is why childhood obesity is such a problem, because it builds that idea in your head that obesity is normal as a kid. You get used to it. Even though, of course, fat kids do get bullied and all that, but fat kids are becoming more and more commonplace. Like, you look back at I forget which movie is often brought up as a reference for this, but there was a kid in a movie, I want to say it was like Billy Madison, actually. I want to say it was Billy Madison, this movie. There's a fat kid in class, and that kid looks positively normal nowadays, which is disturbing. But he was the fat kid. They made fun of him for being the fat kid. Was it Matilda? Yeah, it was Matilda. It was Matilda, sorry. It might have been Billy Madison too, but it was definitely, Matilda, you're right. Yeah, the fat kid doesn't look that fat nowadays. I've seen much more obese children than him, routinely. Yeah, they both had fat kids. But I think, the Matilda example is the one that gets brought up. And we get taught as children. You know, a lot of things get built into your head, and I want to talk about indoctrination at length at some point on a stream soon. We'll see what's going on tomorrow. I don't know what's going on tomorrow for stream. I might be gaming, or I might not. I might do more chatting. But indoctrination is a topic I want to talk about. I want to do a bit of research on that to get my points across. But indoctrination starts very young, and it's not just religion. For example, that's the main example I would use. It's not just religion, but we get ideas embedded into our heads as children that can be very hard to break as we grow into adults. I grew up in a very atheist household, or rather, the concept of God was never really a big thing. So aside from like going to Jeffrey's house, occasionally I'd see all the religious imagery, and it was so strange to me. But there are many, many people who, for them, growing up in a religious household, that idea gets embedded in their heads. And it's the same with diet. You get the idea that maybe having Macca's a few times a week is fine. You get the idea that having snacks whenever you want to and having no limits on it is fine. You get the idea that having Fruit Loops for dinner occasionally is fine. And you start to develop this sense, like we've said several times, it's like we do live in that post-scarcity society. We have more than enough. Oh yeah, probably not bro. I identify as a woman. I shouldn't say that I am a woman. I am a woman. I'm a chick. A bro doesn't really fit, but I get what you mean. You used to also be 12. The efforts you have to go to stop gaining weight are their own problem. Hence why you think we should be focusing more on preventing weight gain than losing it. I mean, yes, I would agree. Building the habit early on, again, with kids especially. Build the habit early on that they have their square meals. And a single small snack like a piece of fruit or a muesli bar between meals. And after dinner, this is a huge thing. Do not let them eat within 2 hours of bedtime, for example. So, I honestly, get kids on intermittent fasting. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, Fox, how you doing? Thanks for the hydrate. Historically, people never had to worry about making rules to prevent weight gain. Yeah, that's true. Like back then, back in the days before post-scarcity, they had barely enough to survive on, but they were surviving off the food they had. And of course we do factor in, over time. This is actually an issue that relates to the US specifically. I don't know so much about Australia. Australia's a pretty fat country, but in the US, the age of death of people, the average age of the death of the people has been going down. As in people are dying earlier. I forget what the mortality age of mortality. I don't know what the phrase is. People have been dying earlier, not because of COVID, because of obesity related issues. So having the option to have more than you need is leading to more people dying. Whereas originally, when you had that situation of abundance, it was leading to people surviving longer. All of a sudden they had more food, preservatives in it that would help get rid of things that would make you sick. Posture check. You need to use your points. Use the nothings. Because get access to the food, help the age of mortality increase, but now it has the opposite effect. And yeah, you're absolutely right. We need to nip that in the bud before it becomes a problem. Soul Reaper. There you go. We need to assert to children from a young age that they need to I can't think. 3 hours into a stream now, by the way. Talking the entire time. 3 hours of just talking. I'm ending in a moment, in about 5 minutes. You need to hammer in the idea of scheduling your food. And I'm pretty bad at this, but I'm good at calorie tracking, so I've got that going for me. But you need to get it into your kids' heads when they're young that they should only eat at meal times, only have small snacks, shouldn't go overboard, because your body doesn't need all that much to survive. It really doesn't. Hello from Japan. Hello from Australia. Tetsu, how are you doing? Welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely time. Premium nothing. I really should just not acknowledge them. That would be the ultimate, like if somebody redeems the highest nothing, which is 3 million, I'm gonna not acknowledge it. There's no easy solution though. The humans are drawn to tasty high caloric foods. Well, the problem with the government stepping in, ideally, I mean, I would say yes. It would be nice to see the government step in. I think that was Michelle Obama's thing in America originally. She was planning on stepping in specifically with school lunches to try to shut down unhealthy diets and try to get kids on the path to slimmer, healthier bodies. Because talking about it means I did acknowledge it, true. If someone ever does actually redeem it, calling it now, not acknowledging the real ultimate nothing, the 3 million point one, not acknowledging it. Just gonna look over it. I'll look at it in chat for a second and go, okay, on to the topic at hand. But yeah, the issue, of course, one of the problems with if you start saying, oh, the government should regulate the foods you eat, you can only eat so much, is that's itself.
Welcome to the Rogue Room.
Tetsu.
We hope you enjoy your stay.
Welcome to the Rogue Room. Grab a drink, sit down, and chill out with us. We hope you enjoy your stay and hope to see you around in future streams as well. Because we're going to be calling it shortly. They won't do it because the backlash to trying to regulate people's calorie intake will be seen as a method of control and used as a huge political issue. What era had the best government? That's tricky. That's very difficult. I honestly wouldn't even know how to begin on that. We're ending in a minute anyway. I can't do it. I can't do that now. But we can look at different governmental systems soon because I want to do some serious research on governmental systems. I've got the capitalism page up right now, and as I render a video after this, I'm literally looking at Wikipedia. I'm gonna go through this because I want to know all the details of capitalism. I trust Wikipedia. I'm sorry if you don't, but I do. I trust Wikipedia to a point. I'll read their sources and stuff. Join the Discord. If you guys are not already in the Discord, please feel free to do so. Jump into the... follow my Instagram, my Twitter, my YouTube. If you guys are not already following me there, I've got a big video coming out very soon. Where's the meme? Oh, I'm not watching a video meme at the moment. Somebody check that one for me. I feel like people... I don't know why this is like this on... I don't know why this is like this on Discord. I need to fix this so the people who join the Discord actually do assign roles. Because I've noticed I've got an assign role. You go in and you don't have any roles. You shouldn't have access to the rest of the Discord. It should be that you pick a role first so that... But I haven't set it up correctly so it doesn't do that. A pain in the ass. I'm going to have to go through and fix it. As long as you look at sources and recent edits, Wiki is fine. The issue is people troll. Like the time, Xylo, that I looked up piranhas And the line at the end of their main description at the top of the page said, "Piranhas are also known as gay boys. They are very gay." I was like 14 when I looked that up, and I will never forget it. I did. I will never forget that. I have no idea who edited that. It's fucking stupid as all hell.
Welcome to the Rogue Room.
The Bushcraft Wizard, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Rogue Room. Grab a drink, sit down, chill out with us as we look for someone to raid. To scream it. Yeah, delete it. I don't like screamers. Alright, so that's the end of stream for today. I think we're gonna call it there. Thank you, friendos. Oh, now that's over my logo. That's not right. No. There we go. That's better. Just wipe. Thank you. They are pretty gay. They're very, very gay fish. Very gay fish. A very happy fish, I would imagine. Raid Teeny Tiny Tuna. What's she getting up to? Control. All right. Yeah, why not? Posture check. I should do this. Oh, okay. Oh my god, stop giving me a fucking ad, you daft cunt. Oh my goodness gracious. We're gonna go raid Tootie. I'm gonna go say hi. I'm gonna go hang out there for a bit. I'm gonna finish rendering this highlight from yesterday, which was quite good. Quite a good highlight. I hope you guys will like it. Thank you so much so far for this past like week and a bit of streams has been magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. I appreciate all of you being here, and I need to reiterate that every single time, because that's how I psychologically manipulate you into coming back. If you are at all interested, this is just a thing I've been doing the last couple of days. I've been putting together an Amazon wish list, which contains a ton of books that I would like to read, because I've been really bad for reading my entire life. I know I shouldn't be asking for stuff, but I'm going to put that out there. Manifest some energy. Get me to read some theory. Which, by the way, theory books are fucking expensive, but there's some other books on there that are really cheap. I want to read 1984, and I could probably get that in store. There is a copy of it at my sister's workplace, which is a bookshop. Could probably go nab that. I'm going to put that out there into the wind. And if you're not already following, of course, the Twitter, the YouTube, the Instagram. And I will see you all tomorrow at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. I don't know what we're doing. I have no idea just yet. I'll let you know. This is why you follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Ta-ta. I'll see you when I'm looking at ya.